Hello and welcome into Hyde Stadium as the Sioux Falls Sunfish make their first trip on the road to take on the Pierre Trappers. The Sioux Falls Sunfish got the better of the Pierre Trappers yesterday in Sioux Falls, defeating the Trappers 6-1 in that game on the campus of Augustana University. The Trappers back at Hyde Stadium for the first time in a little while, as they last played here against the Western Nebraska Pioneers all the way back on the 31st of May. Excuse me, the 30th of May. So now the Sioux Falls Sunfish come into town, and it's a battle for fourth place in the division. As the Sunfish got the better of the Trappers yesterday, they advanced to 3-5. They sit 4.5 games back on the on the Fremont Moo. The Trappers sit at 2-5 and are 5 games back on the Clark division leading Fremont Moo, who sit at 8-1. Starting lineups for tonight. First for the visiting Sioux Falls Sunfish, they'll lead things off with the center fielder number 13, Blake Burrows. The second baseman number 24, JT Mix. Batting third, the shortstop number 10, Benito Garcia. Batting fourth, the third baseman number 31, Jonathan Brandon. Batting fifth, the catcher number 2, Carter Tibbetts. Batting sixth, the first baseman number 36, Jesus Licone. Batting seventh, the right fielder number 1, Kenneth Dutka. Batting eighth, the designated hitter number 5, Cade Kalehu-Avehi. And batting ninth, the left fielder number 4, Adonis Forte II. Pitching for the Sunfish today in his Expedition League debut, number 18, Griffin Hassel. For the Pierre Trappers, they'll lead things off with the designated hitter number 14, Tyler Skelton. Batting second, the left fielder number 2, Thomas McKenna. Batting third, the right fielder number 33, Caden Cardoso. Batting fourth, the first baseman number 35, Nicholas Strong. Batting fifth, the center fielder number 6, Eric Mast. Batting seventh, the catcher number 30, Colin Adams. Batting sixth. Batting seventh is the third baseman number 13, Brendan Perez. Batting eighth, the second baseman number 20, Cole Yancey. And batting ninth, the shortstop number 3, Braden Cordes. On the mound for the Pierre Trappers tonight will be Adrian Lopez. For the Sioux Falls Sunfish, for the second night in a row, they have a new pitcher on the mound in Griffin Hassel, after starting Matt Hess last night, who got the win for the Sunfish over the Pierre Trappers. Adrian Lopez will get his second start for the Trappers with no decisions in both starts. He is a 9.00 ERA in his time starting for the Pierre Trappers this season. We'll take a quick break for the national anthem and be back for first pitch here from Hyde Stadium between Sioux Falls and Pierre. Well, the national anthem has been sung, and that means it's time to play ball here from Hyde Stadium between the Sioux Falls Sunfish and the Pierre Trappers. The Sunfish making their first trip in franchise history to the state capital in Pierre, South Dakota, and their first game being played here from Hyde Stadium. We'll take you through the defensive alignment for the Pierre Trappers and then down the starting batting order for the Sioux Falls Sunfish before we get tonight started. Defensively for the Pierre Trappers, they'll have McKenna in left field, Mast in center, Cardoso in right field. In the infield from left to right, the third baseman Perez, the shortstop Cordes, the second baseman Yancey, and the first baseman Strong. The battery for the Pierre Trappers tonight will be Adrian Lopez on the mound. And behind the plate, Colin Adams, a new player for the Pierre Trappers out of Long Island University, making his first appearance for the Pierre Trappers tonight against the Sunfish. For the Sioux Falls Sunfish offensively, they'll lead things off with the center fielder Burrows, the second baseman Mix, the shortstop Garcia, the third baseman Brandon, the catcher Tibbetts, the first baseman Licone, the right fielder Dutka, the designated hitter Kalehu Avehi, and the left fielder Forte the second. Big game here from Pierre as both the Sunfish and Trappers fight for fourth place in the Clark division out of 6 teams. Currently, the Sunfish sit 4.5 games back behind the division leading Moo. The Trappers 5 games back exactly on the division leading Fremont team. It's been the opposite runs for both the Sunfish and the Trappers. The Sunfish have won 3 in a row, 2 against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks, and 1 yesterday in Sioux Falls against these Pierre Trappers. The Trappers, meanwhile, have lost 3 in a row after being swept in 2 games by the Spearfish Sasquatch, and then losing last night's game in Sioux Falls against these Sunfish. Lopez making his first start in some time for the Pierre Trappers. The right-hander for the Trappers has pitched in 2 games, getting 2 starts. However, both have ended up being no decisions for the native of California. He pitched in the second game of the Western Nebraska series and was actually the last game played here at Hyde Stadium for the Pierre Trappers. Lopez got a no decision in 5 innings pitched, allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, and 4 walks and 4 strikeouts to go along with it. So leading things off for the Sioux Falls Sunfish will be the center fielder Blake Burrows, wearing number 13. He went 0 for 3 yesterday with a strikeout in his first start this season for the Sunfish. He is still looking for his first base hit of the season in the Expedition League. And we apologize for slight technical difficulties on our stream. We're working on getting that resolved. Again, apologize for a potential frozen stream. Again, we're trying to get that figured out as soon as we can. So Burrows will lead things off for the Sioux Falls Sunfish here from Hyde Stadium. The Pierre Trappers wearing their all-gray uniforms with Pierre across the front, blue numbering on the front left and back of the uniforms, the blue P for Pierre hats for the Trappers tonight. Lopez winds up and pitches. The first pitch swinging over to the first baseman. And making the play is Nicholas Strong at first base. It will start out with a 3 unassisted for the first out of the inning.
Now batting for the Sunfish, the second baseman, number 24, JT Mix.
It will bring up JT Mix, the second baseman for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Went 0 for 5 in the last game that he played in against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. So the first pitch is taken for a ball. So a 1-0 count to JT Mix. Lopez looks back into the field looking at the second baseman, Yancey. Pitch will fall outside of the strike zone for ball 2. The 2-0 will find the outside part of the plate but miss the plate entirely. 3 balls and no strikes after Burrows was first pitch swinging on the last at-bat. So 3 balls and no strikes to Mix from Lopez. Lopez fires inside. That will catch the inside part of the plate for strike number 1. And now a hitter's count. To JT Mix, 3 balls and 1 strike. Lopez fires outside, and that will go for ball number 4. The first batter for the Sunfish gets on today in JT Mix after Burrows grounded out to the first baseman unassisted. So it will bring up Benito Garcia, the shortstop. Garcia has the unique honor for the Sunfish of being the only member of this Sioux Falls team to have started every game and played in every game for the Sunfish this season. Has gotten every start at shortstop. First pitch will go high above the lettering Sioux Falls, wearing all gray uniforms with teal sleeves on the right, orange sleeves on the left. A Sioux Falls across the front of the jersey. Sioux is in orange, Falls is in teal. Orange numbers on the back and only the back. 1-0 count, runner goes, and in there with a throw but no tag is JT Mix. So the Sunfish being aggressive early, stealing a bag to get to second base. Garcia now has a 1-1 count on him after a strike was called on the pitch from Lopez, the same pitch in which Mix stole a base. Again, we appreciate your patience as we try to get this stream running smoothly. So a runner at second base with nobody out for Sioux Falls here in the top of the first inning. Pitch will catch the strike zone for strike number 2. So 1 balls and 2 strikes to Benito Garcia. Garcia went 1 for 4 yesterday, crossed the plate, home plate twice safely, and at an RBI, he's batting .242 on the season so far. 9th game of the season for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Pitch will run inside, evening the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Garcia, as I mentioned, has been the workhorse for the Sunfish, not missing a game so far, and now it will be Colin Adams, the catcher for the Pierre Trappers, talking to Adrian Lopez on the mound. Just a couple words of encouragement as he steps onto the mound. Lopez back on the rubber. He's checking in over at the runner Mix at second base. A 2-2 count to Garcia, the shortstop. Another check back over at Mix. A long look. Mix fakes going. Pitch will go on the outside part of the plate. Goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So now a 3-2 count. Lopez trying to strike out Garcia for the second out of the inning. Another check over at Mix. Another fake steal. A swing dropped. Adams will tag Garcia for the out. A strikeout swinging. The first punch out of the day for Adrian Lopez. And it's out number 2 of the inning. It will bring up the third baseman, Jonathan Brandon. Brandon made his first appearance of the season yesterday in the Sunfish home opener against the Trappers. He went 1 for 5 with a strikeout, so batting .200 in 1 game start. First pitch will pop out of the gloves of Adams. No call from the umpire means that it's ball number 1. Umpires today will be Tristan Jones in the field and Connor Kroll behind home plate. Pitch down the center of the plate from Lopez for strike number 1. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Lopez worried about the runner at second and mix. Ball low in the dirt. Adams blocks it away. Puts the count in Brandon's favor. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Sunfish stealing to get to second base after JT Mix reached on a walk. It's the 27th stolen base of the young season for the Sunfish. Wind up and a line drive into center field. Making the catch on it will be Mast in center. A runner will get on for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, but advance no farther than second base. Bottom of the first on tap when we return here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube live stream.
Hey, it's the old top Gator here with Gators Pizza Pasta Subs in the Northridge Plaza. Gators is known for top quality food. Now you can have our food selections delivered right to your front door using DoorDash. That's right, now you have 4 ways that you can get great Gators food. Dine in, carry out, curbside pickup, and now delivery through DoorDash. Gators has been serving the Pierre area and now Trappers baseball fans since 1987. Gators Pizza Pasta Subs in the Northridge Plaza.
And we'd like to thank just a couple of our sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season, including Bob's Lounge, Shells, Cowboy Country Stores, Lutheran Memorial Church, and A Cut and Style. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. Defensively for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, it will be Griffin Hassel on the mound making his debut this season for the Sunfish. In the field from left to right in the outfield, Forte, Burrows, and Dutka. The third baseman for the Sunfish is Brandon, the shortstop Garcia, the second baseman Mix, and the first baseman Licone. The battery for Sioux Falls will be Hassel on the mound and Tibbetts behind the plate. For the Trappers, their batting order once more will be Skelton, the designated hitter, the left fielder McKenna, the right fielder Cardoso, the first baseman Strong, the center fielder Mast, the catcher Adams, the third baseman Perez, the second baseman Yancey, and the shortstop in Cordes. For Hassel making his debut for the Sunfish tonight on the mound, a D1 player out of Ontario, Canada, playing for the Kansas State Wildcats in the regular season, just finished up his sophomore season in Manhattan, Kansas. The right-handed pitcher will get the start for the Sunfish. Leading things off is Tyler Skelton, the designated hitter, moving out of the field for the first time this season. So the first time that Skelton has been placed in the DH role so far. Skelton, after an 0-for-4 day yesterday, Skelton has been hot, batting well in both the Spearfish and Western Nebraska series. So Skelton gets the start at DH, and after his 0-for-4 day yesterday, Skelton's still batting .382 on the year. Pitch will go low for ball number 1. So a 1-0 count to begin the bottom of the first inning to Tyler Skelton. Second pitch, a swing into right field. And underneath it, making the catch is Dutka, the right fielder for the Sunfish, for out number 1. So Skelton, after a day in which he didn't have a characteristic day against the Sioux Falls Sunfish yesterday, starts things out with a fly out to right to begin the Trappers' half of the first. It will bring up the left fielder Thomas McKenna, who did have a good day against the Sunfish, as he'll take the first pitch from Hassel for strike 1. He went 2 for 3 with a double, including a fly ball to right field that was just a few feet away from clearing the wall at Karas Park. Pitch runs high over the batting helmet for ball number 1. Will even the count to Thomas McKenna, 1 ball and 1 strike. Cardoso on deck for the Pierre Trappers. And a fly ball into right field yet again. And there to make the catch, a jumping catch, is Dutka for out number 2. So 2 quick outs and 2 fly outs to the right fielder, Dutka. It will bring up Caden Cardoso. Cardoso, ever since the opening series against the Hastings Sodbusters, has seemed to be on a slide. He ended up going 0 for 1 yesterday with a couple of free passes on balls. He's batting 176 on the year. First pitch is going to be taken for strike number 1. And I've mentioned it before, but Cardoso, the lone Trappers batter to hit a home run so far this season, as he'll swing through this next pitch for strike number 2 and find himself down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. So an 0-2 count as Cardoso falls behind on Hassel. The windup and pitch, and Cardoso will swing through another for the strikeout. 1-2-3 go the Pierre Trappers. 2 flyouts and a strikeout. End the first inning. We're still scoreless here from Hyde Stadium. We'll be back for the second inning, and the Sunfish try to put a runner across for their second inning of work when we return here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube stream. Dano's Marine is a proud partner of Pierre Trappers Baseball. Located at 320 St. Charles Street, Dano's provides service on your boat to get you back out on the water in the dog days of summer. Give them a call at 605-224-6612. That's Dano's Marine at 605-224-6612. Any water, any problem, Dano's Marine. And before we begin the top half of the second inning, a few more sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season that we would like to extend a thank you to, including First Dakota National Bank, Graham Tire, Sanford Health, Lariat Lanes, and L&M Barbershop. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. Lopez returns for his second inning of work after getting through the top half of the inning mostly unscathed. He allowed Mix to reach on a walk and steal second base. It will now be the 5, 6, 7 part of the Sunfish lineup with Tibbetts, Licone, and Dutka due up. First pitch will miss for ball number 1. Carter Tibbetts, the catcher today for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Went 1 for 3. The pitch will miss for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Tibbetts started 2 games ago against Wheat City, batting .333 on the year. Another pitch will miss, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes to Adrian Lopez. And the one thing that the Pierre Trappers have struggled with all season is walks allowed. They're currently leading the league as a pitching staff in free passes, as the Sunfish will get their second one of the game with a walk to first base to lead off the second inning to Carter Tibbetts. It will bring up Jesus Licone, the first baseman for the Pierre Trappers, for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Will have a runner on with nobody out. First pitch will fall inside for strike number 1. A check over at first base to look at Tibbetts. Lopez sets a pickoff attempt back to first base, but sliding back in there safely is Tibbetts. So Licone Again, another Sunfish batter it will go to right field. That will drop for a base hit. The Sunfish will play station to station as it will advance Carter Tibbetts to second base.
Now batting for the Sunfish are Pierre batter for tonight, the right fielder, number 1, Kenneth Dutka.
So Lee Cohn will single. Tibbetts advances to second base. We'll put 2 runners on with nobody out for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Top of the second inning. No score here from Hyde Stadium. Lopez deals on a fly ball to right field. That will drop for a foul ball just maybe a foot away from the right field line. So it could have been a huge play for the Sunfish, likely clearing the bases with what could have been a double for the Sunfish, but it will drop for a foul ball for strike number 1. So no balls and 1 strike now to Kenneth Dutka, the right fielder, wearing number 1 for the Sunfish this season. First season overall for the Sunfish, as Lopez will step off to check over at Tibbetts, who stands at second base. No balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Runners at first and second for the expansion team Sioux Falls Sunfish in their first season of play. A ground ball down the first base line for a foul ball will push the count to no balls and 2 strikes. For the Sunfish on deck, it will be Cade Kalehu-Avehi. Another check over at Tibbetts, who stands at second base. A windup, and now looking back, threatening Tibbetts back to the bag. Tibbetts has tried to swipe a base 4 times this season, being successful all but 1 of them. Lopez worried about Tibbetts, again looking over, a long look, and he'll step off the rubber now. So Lee Cohn at first, Tibbetts at second, an 0-2 count. Lopez fires and a swing and a foul ball back into the screen, keeps the count where it is at 0-2. Trappers entered today's game 2 wins, 5 losses, compared to the Sunfish 3 wins and 5 losses. The Sunfish playing 1 more game than the Trappers to this point in the season. Lopez stands up straight. Another check over at Tibbetts. Fires, and that one will go low for ball 1. First ball to the batter in Kenneth Dutka. So it'll be a 1-2 count to the right fielder. He came in as a pinch hitter yesterday, went 0 for 1, still batting .348. A ground ball to the first baseman, bobbling it but picking it up is Strong. Strong will step on the bag for the first out of the inning, but it does do a job for the Sioux Falls Sunfish in advancing 2 runners into scoring position. After the ground out to the first baseman, Lee Cohn will advance to second base. Tibbetts advances to third, so the Sunfish have a runner 90 feet away now. 1 away in the inning, and it will bring up Cade Kalehu-Avehi. Did not get the start yesterday for the Sunfish. Did not appear actually yesterday against the Trappers in the home opener. First pitch will be called for strike number 1. Did start 2 days ago in Grand Forks against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. He went 2 for 3 with a couple of walks and is batting an impressive .346 so far, entering game number 9 on the Sunfish year. Lopez deals another pitch down the center of the plate. Kalehu-Avehi not offering it either pitch. Both of them called strikes by the home plate umpire, Connor Kroll. So an 0-2 count with 1 away. Big chance for a strikeout here. A fly ball to the shortstop, making the catch and stepping on the bag is the shortstop in Cordes. A double play, 6 unassisted. The Trappers get out of the inning off a big play by Braden Cordes. and stop a threat by the Sunfish with 2 runners in scoring position. We'll be back for the bottom half of the second when the Trappers try to put a run across of their own when we return here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube live stream. Wow, Shell's Quick Stop is the place to go for a variety of food, drinks, fishing tackle, and more. Hungry? Come on down for breakfast pizza, burritos, biscuits and gravy, soup, salad, and wraps. Thirsty? Try their hot and cold espresso drinks, lattes, frappuccinos, and milkshakes from the drive-up window. Heading down to the water? Stop by to pick up minnows, crawlers, and leeches to secure the big bites. All of it's down at Shell's at 621 West Sioux Avenue. And before we begin the second inning and the Pierre Trappers to grab the bats, just a few more sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season that we would like to extend a thank you to, including Pierre Family Dental, Kathy Sun and Shine Properties, Bank West, Gateway Ford, Lincoln, Toyota, and Michelle Maupin Barrett Photography. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. A beautiful day here in Pierre with no clouds in the sky. However, it is a scorcher here from the South Dakota State Capitol. First pitch temperature was at 99 degrees. A cool down from, I believe, I remember seeing 104 degrees. However, a dry heat with barely any humidity here in Pierre. So leading things off for the Trappers will be the cleanup batter, Nicholas Strong, as Griffin Hassel will take on the 4-5-6 part of the lineup with Strong, Mast, and Adams due up. Adams, a interesting case for the Trappers as he's making his first appearance so far, a D1 talent out of Long Island University, due to bat third this inning. Trappers got out of a jam with a double play. Only the third double play hit into by the Sunfish. First pitch swinging for Strong for strike number 1. We appreciate you guys sticking with us here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube live stream. Watching around the country, Expedition League Baseball, ball in the dirt, bounces off the plate for ball number 1. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Strong had an 0 for 4 day yesterday, batting .091 on the year, trying to bounce back with this 3-game set against the Sunfish. Pitch will go high for ball 2. Speaking of, this is the first of a 3-game set between the Sunfish and the Trappers here from Hyde Stadium. Then a day off for both teams. Then back to Sioux Falls for 2 games with the same teams. Pitch will go high again. 3 balls and 1 strike to Strong, the cleanup batter in the Trappers batting order and the leadoff batter of the second inning. Trappers still looking for their first base runner as they went 3 up, 3 down last inning. A swing and a miss on the 3-1 will work the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. First visit ever for the Sunfish here to the state capital of Pierre, South Dakota. In the second of 6 consecutive games between these two sides. A fly ball into right field. Heading for it in foul territory, but unable to come up with it, was the second baseman Mix. I believe that's who it was diving for the Sunfish. It will keep the count full for Nicholas Strong. So stepping back into the batter's box after a scary fly ball is Nicholas Strong, in which he could have easily been out on the play. Now a fly ball into center field, deep center field, heading back on it and reaching up to make the catch is Burrows in center for the first out of the inning. Burrows had to trace back a few feet. It was still maybe 10 to 15 feet away from the warning track in dead center field. So the fly out to the center fielder, it's the third fly out to the outfield in 4 batters for the Pierre Trappers. First pitch swinging on Eric Mast will go for strike number 1. Mast got a pinch hit appearance yesterday in place of Jacob Newman. Went 0 for 1. A swing and a miss for strike number 2. Mast still looking for his first base hit of the season. A ground ball to the shortstop. Picking it up is Mix. Fires onto first. Is in time for the out. 2 outs in the inning on 2 consecutive batters for the Pierre Trappers. It will bring up Eric Mast. Excuse me. It will bring up Colin Adams, the new batter for the Pierre Trappers, the starting catcher in tonight's game here from Hyde Stadium. First pitch will miss for ball number 1. Adams, a native of Chichester, Pennsylvania. Pitch will again miss the plate and the strike zone entirely for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Finishing up his senior season at the Long Island University playing for the Sharks, or LIU. Another pitch will miss, and now a 3-0 count to Colin Adams as the Trappers will take any way they can to get a runner on the base paths. 3-0 count will go down the center of the plate for strike number 1. So now a 3-1 count. Hassel winds up and deals. That one will go in the dirt for ball number 4, and the Trappers have their first base runner. So the first plate appearance in his Trappers career, Colin Adams will draw a 5-pitch walk. It will bring up the third baseman, Brendan Perez. Perez, a senior at Point University playing for the Skyhawks. The starting third baseman today went 1 for 4 yesterday. First pitch will go high for ball number 1. So a 1-0 count to Perez with Adams standing at first base. Pitch will miss low for ball number 2. So here in the second inning, a bit more of control issues for Griffin Hassel. Walking Adams, and now 2 straight balls to Perez. Another pitch will go high above the Pierre lettering on the jerseys. 3 balls and no strikes, and you have to expect the red light on for Brendan Perez. Perez flips the bat up over his shoulders. Hassel winds up and deals, and that one will catch the strike zone for strike number 1. Now 2 consecutive batters that Hassel has faced in which a 3-0 count went to a 3-1 count, knowing that a Trapper wasn't likely to swing. So a 3-1, now a ground ball to the third baseman. Brandon picks it up, will fire onto first base in time for out number 3 of the inning. So Perez grounds out to the third baseman to end the inning, but the Trappers do get a base runner on. We're through 2 innings, scoreless here from Hyde Stadium. We'll be back for the third when the Sunfish come up to bat here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube live stream. The Governor's Inn is the exclusive motel partner of the Pierre Trappers. Check out the special Trappers rate for your visit to Pierre and Hyde Stadium this summer. Call 605-224-4200 directly to get the Trappers rate. With free wireless internet, a deluxe breakfast, and an indoor pool and hot tub, there's no reason not to stop at the Governor's Inn. Top of the third inning on tap here from Hyde Stadium. But before we get underway, just a few more sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season that we would like to thank, including Smith Fireworks, Branding Iron Bistro, Brackey Financial, Leisure Palace, and Floyd's Truck Center. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. Returning for his third inning of work is Adrian Lopez. Lopez has worked with only one base hit allowed to the Sunfish through 2 innings, but have allowed 3 runners to reach, including 1 to third base. No Sunfish so far today has reached home safely. Still a 0-0 ball game as we enter inning number 3. But it was this third inning yesterday that the Sunfish struck first. Off an RBI single by Dane Frazier. Frazier not in the starting lineup today. But the Sunfish trying to strike again in the third inning against the Pierre Trappers. Pitch will go low for ball number 1 from Adrian Lopez. The 1-0 and a ground ball. A diving play by Cordes. Cordes, the throw over to first, is in time. And a beautiful play by Braden Cordes after getting the unassisted double play last inning. Cordes has been outstanding at the shortstop position so far today. 1 away now in the inning after the beautiful diving stop by Braden Cordes. The Spokane Falls Community College product doing things in the middle infield as the shortstop for the Trappers. It will bring up the top of the lineup in Blake Burrows. First pitch will miss outside for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strike. Pitch will be called strike number 1 to Blake Burrows. Burrows 0 for 1 today after grounding out to the first baseman unassisted back in the first. The windup and pitch will catch the strike zone. 2 straight pitches by Adrian Lopez that catch the strike zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lopez winds up, pitch on the outside part, evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Burrows, after going 0 for 3 yesterday, including a strikeout, grounded out back in the first, trying to get his first base hit of the season after making his debut yesterday. The 2-2 from Lopez. A ground ball is right back to Lopez, snagged in the glove. The flip onto first is in time. And back-to-back defensive gems for the Pierre Trappers. A diving play by Braden Cordes and a snag from the pitcher's mound by Adrian Lopez retire the first 2 Sunfish here in the third. So we'll bring up JT Mix, who walked in his previous appearance and stole second base to get a runner into scoring position for Sioux Falls. 2 away here in the third. First pitch goes high, slipped out of the hands of Lopez. Although this is the first of 3 here from Hyde Stadium, it's the second of 6 consecutive games between the Sunfish and Trappers as a swing and a miss by Mix through the pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. They had 1 game yesterday in Sioux Falls. The Sunfish took that game by a score of 6-1. This is the first of 3 here at Hyde Stadium, a day off, and then 2 in Sioux Falls before the teams go their separate ways for a little while. A fly ball into right field. Heading, and that's going to drop as a fair ball. Cardoso gets to it, fires in, chasing him back to first base. So a 2-out single by JT Mix. A good sight for Mix after an 0 for 5 day 2 games ago against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. Did not get an appearance yesterday in the home opener for Sioux Falls. Interesting part of the schedule as the Sunfish had their home opener yesterday, then immediately go back out on the road. It was just a quick stop in their home, a Sioux Falls pickoff attempt, and back in there safely is JT Mix. Benito Garcia, the batter for Sioux Falls, 0 for 1, struck out swinging back in the first inning, and currently the only Sunfish batter to go down on strikes. Another pickoff attempt, and in safely yet again is Mix. And now a called balk on Adrian Lopez, only the second balk called on the Trappers all season. Will advance Mix into scoring position with 2 away in the inning. Lopez looks back at Mix at second base. Pitch will go outside for ball number 1 to start the Garcia at bat. Lopez takes a long look over at his catcher. Winds up and deals a ground ball to the shortstop. Cordes picks it up, fires onto first base in time for the out. And although Mix had a 2-out single, the inning will come to an end. 2 groundouts to the shortstop, Braden Cordes. The Trappers will grab a bat to hit in the bottom half of the 3rd inning when we return here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube live stream.
Total Beauty and Speedway Laundry are your homes for everything clothing in the capital area. Since 2010, Total Beauty has offered great customer service and competitive prices. Next door at Speedway Laundry, they have you covered for a fast, convenient way to wash and dry your clothes and other household items, including king-size comforters. Visit them at 111 First Street in Fort Pierre.
Bottom of the 3rd inning with the 8-9-1 on tap for the Pierre Trappers in Yancey, Cordes, and Skelton. But before we get to the 3 batters due up this inning for the Pierre Trappers, a few more sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season that we would like to extend a thank you to, including Capital City Wine and Spirits, the South Dakota Treasurer's Office, Clausen and Rice, La Minestra, and Aflac. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. As the Trappers enter their bottom half of the 3rd inning, current line score, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, with 3 runners left on base for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. For the Pierre Trappers in 2 offensive innings, no runs, no hits, no errors, leaving 1 runner on base. Trappers trying to get some more offense going against Sioux Falls, as yesterday in the Sunfish home opener, the Trappers were only able to tally 4 hits overall against both starter Matt Hess and Caleb Kranz, the reliever for the Sunfish. Leading things off is the 8-hole batter in Cole Yancey. Yancey did not get to play yesterday in Sioux Falls, but played 2 games ago, and about 4 days ago in Spearfish, ended up going 1 for 3 with a walk. First pitch to Yancey will miss low for ball number 1. One ball, no strike. Hassel winds up and deals a pitch low in the dirt, 2-0. Hassel has minorly struggled with control. He did walk Colin Adams in the previous inning, then had a 3-0 count on Brendan Perez before working his way back. And speaking of 3-0 counts, Cole Yancey will start with one as another pitch will miss from Griffin Hassel. The 3-0, Hassel continuing to just work quickly. It will go for strike number 1. The 3rd consecutive batter that has gotten a 3-0 count to get a strike looking. Now a swing and straight back to Griffin Hassel. Did not have to move, did not flinch, just reached his glove out and picked it out of the air.
Now batting for the Trappers, the shortstop, number 3, Braden Cordes.
Bray will bring up Braden Cordes, the shortstop. Cordes, another Trapper that did not get to play against Sioux Falls yesterday, but did get to play the 2nd game of the Spearfish Sasquatch series. He went 1 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. Takes the first pitch for strike number 1. Cordes enters today's game against Sioux Falls, batting 143 on the year in the Trappers' 8th game of the season. Pitch will go high for ball 1. Evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd. A pitch and a swing back into the screen. A foul ball by Braden Cordes for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 away. Here in the bottom of the third in a scoreless ball game. Hassel winds up, and this one will be fouled back into the screen where it says "Welcome to Hyde Stadium" above the traditional foul ball screen. More so a protector of the intersection of Capitol and Ree right behind home plate. The 1-2. Ball will go over the letters. Evens the count at 2-2 with 1 away in the inning. Bases are empty for the Trappers. Pitch will be taken low. Count will go full to the 9-hole batter and the shortstop for the Pierre Trappers and Braden Cordes. Now a swing and a miss for strike number 3 as the payoff pitch goes the way of Griffin Hassel. Second punch out through the batting order for Griffin Hassel. He punched out Cardoso and Cordes. So the lineup card will flip over for the Pierre Trappers. It will bring up Tyler Skelton, the designated hitter. Coach May said he deserved a day off, but with the number of players in town for the Trappers, his day off is simply coming out of the field to be the DH. So he'll bat with 2 outs in the inning and nobody on the base paths. The windup by Hassel will run inside for ball 1. Fifth home game here from Hyde Stadium for the Pierre Trappers. Check swing. No appeal as it runs inside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to Skelton. They had 2 games against the Hastings Sodbusters and 2 games against the Western Nebraska Pioneers as a swing and a miss on a 2-0 count will go for strike number 1. Trappers still looking for their first base hit of the ball game here in the third. The 2-1 from Hassel will be fouled off the tip of the bat for strike number 2. They split both home series against the Sodbusters and the Pioneers. It was a scheduled 3-game set against the Sodbusters, but game 3 of that series was rained out. And a pitch down the center of the plate for a called strike number 3. Skelton stands in the box for a moment, but it will end the first half of the inning. Skelton shows his dismay to the home plate umpire, but it will end the third inning for the Pierre Trappers. 1-2-3. Go the home team with 2 punch-outs in the inning by Griffin Hassel. We'll be back for the fourth inning when we return here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube live stream.
You don't need an illness to need a doctor. You don't need to feel sick to feel better. You don't need to be unwell to get well. What you do need is a primary care provider at Sanford Health. Better healthcare starts with regular wellness visits and a familiar face who knows you, your concerns, and your goals. We're here before you need us. We're here when you need us. We're here after you need us. We're here for you. Find your primary care provider at sanfordhealth.org today.
Fourth inning just about ready to get underway here from Hyde Stadium with the 4-5-6 due up for the Sioux Falls Sunfish in Brandon Tibbetts and Lee Cohn. But before we get underway here from the second third of this ball game, I'd like to thank a few more sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season, including Pierre Physical Therapy, Layden and Associates, Big Tom's Diner, Envirotech, and the Fieldhouse. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. It will be Jonathan Brandon leading things off here for the Sunfish in the fourth in a scoreless ball game. Brandon flew out to left field in his only other at-bat. Lopez kicks and fires. Pitch will go low and outside for ball number 1. Of the 3 Sunfish batters that are due up, they're a combined 1 for 2, as Lee Cohn, who's supposed to bat third this inning, singled for the Sunfish. Ball runs inside for ball number 2. Trappers as a whole, pitching staff leading the league in walks, as a pitch will go high for ball number 3, as the Trappers threatening to walk another batter. So far, they've only walked 2 to this point in the ballgame. A windup and pitch will miss. A 4-pitch walk to lead off the inning. So walk number 3 of the ballgame, all of them surrendered by Adrian Lopez. However, the only important number for the Pierre Trappers right now is the visiting runs. And so far, through 3 innings, they've kept the Sunfish off the scoreboard. It will bring up Carter Tibbetts, who walked and reached all the way to third, which is currently runner goes. Throw down to second base, bounced by Adams. Tag will not be in time, as a stolen base by Jonathan Brandon will push a runner into scoring position with nobody out here in the top of the 4th. So Tibbetts will now have a job of trying to drive in Jonathan Brandon, who stands at second. The 28th stolen bag for the Sunfish. They're an aggressive team on the base paths. First pitch to Tibbetts will miss for ball 1. Lopez looks back at the runner at second. Fires and misses for ball 2. Correction, that's ball 3, so another 3-0 count. Lopez has now pitched 7 consecutive balls before finally throwing a called strike here. So now 3 balls and 1 strike to Tibbetts. Batting .333 on the year, and is the starting catcher today for Sioux Falls. Hot day. Game time temperature was 99 degrees, expected to cool down as the game commences. A pop fly in the infield. Underneath it is Perez, but making the catch will be the second baseman in Cole Yancey. So a pop out to the second baseman will put the first out on the board for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Still a runner at second base with 1 away in the inning. It will bring up Jesus Licon. Licon 1 for 1, singled back in the second inning and was out on the double play. The line drive to Braden Cordes, who stepped on the bag himself. He was caught up not tagging, but the way that fly ball flew, runner goes, pitch high, the throw down to third base. That one is in time. Caught stealing is Jonathan Brandon. And after a 2 for 2 start to the Sunfish day, Colin Adams finally guns down a Sunfish runner trying to swipe a bag. One-0 count will catch the strike zone. 1-1 to Jesus Licon. So Licon had a chance to drive in a run with a base hit. However, with Brandon caught stealing, no runners are on and 2 away in the inning. A big swing and a miss by Licon goes for strike number 2. Dutka on deck should Licon extend the Sunfish inning. The 1-2 breaking ball, a swing and a miss. Some mastery by Adrian Lopez to strike out Jesus Licon. It's the second punch out of the day pitched by Adrian Lopez, and it will end the Sunfish half of the 4th. The Pierre Trappers will try to get on the scoreboard first when we return here for the bottom of the 4th inning here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube live stream. Trappers fans, summer is here. Get your boat back in shape with a visit to Dano's Marine. Dano's Marine will get you back out on the water this summer with excellent service and years of experience. Give them a call at 605-224-6612 or visit them at 320 St. Charles Street in Pierre. Any water, any problem, Dano's Marine. Scoreless ball game through 7 half innings of play and 3.5 completed innings. Due up for the Pierre Trappers in the bottom half of the 4th inning will be McKenna, Cardoso, and Strong, the 2-3-4 part of the lineup. But before we get to them, a few more sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season that we'd like to thank, including Black Hills Federal Credit Union, Red Rosa, Marco, Long Branch, Farmers Union Insurance, and Capital Sports. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. So far for Griffin Hassel, he's had a day through 3 innings, only allowing 1 Trapper base runner to get on in Colin Adams by way of the walk. But so far, no hits allowed by Hassel. It will bring up Thomas McKenna. McKenna flew out to right field in his previous at-bat and thus is 0 for 1 today. First pitch will go low to the knees for a called strike number 1. Fastball by Hassel. McKenna, a stiff batting stance. The 0-1 will miss low in the dirt, kicking up a fair bit of clay in the home plate area for ball number 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. And a ground ball to the shortstop. Picking it up is Garcia. Garcia fires onto first base in time for the out. So 1 up, 1 down so far this inning for the Pierre Trappers. He will bring up Caden Cardoso. And I've mentioned it all season since opening day, but Cardoso remains the only Trapper batter to have launched a ball over the wall for a home run. These two teams return to Hyde Stadium tomorrow. Same start time at 7:05 Central for Game 2 of this 3-game set. Pitch will go low for ball number 1. Cardoso making his first appearance in right field defensively for the Trappers. Second pitch taken right down the middle. A fastball by Hassel will go for strike 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. Nobody on the bases so for the Trappers in the bottom of the 4th. Pitch goes outside for ball 2. Griffin Hassel does not like to waste time. As soon as he gets his sign, as soon as he gets the ball back, he likes to get his sign. As soon as he gets his sign, he likes to pitch. No wasting time. For Griffin Hassel, a swing and a miss by Caden Cardoso for strike 2. Pitch will miss low. A full count to Caden Cardoso. Cardoso trying to avoid being punched out by Hassel as he was back in the 1st inning. Pitch will go low for ball 4. The second walk surrendered by Griffin Hassel, and he's the second base runner the Trappers have had all game, as the only other runner was another base on balls by way of Colin Adams back in the 2nd inning. So with 1 away, the Trappers have a base runner at first. It will bring up Nicholas Strong, the first baseman. He went 0 for 4 yesterday, started the day 0 for 1 today. He led off the 2nd inning with a flyout to the center fielder, Burrows. Hassel, a Kansas State Wildcat, making his Sioux Falls debut. First pitch will fall in for strike number 1. A lot of D1 talent on this Sioux Falls lineup, and a lot of them are starting to trickle in now that a lot of conference tournaments are over. The only players left outstanding are those participating at the currently ongoing NCAA tournament. A swing and a foul ball by Strong will go for strike number 2. Caden Cardoso stands at first base after walking. Strong steps out of the batter's box. Takes a half-cut practice swing and steps back into the batter's box. Gets the play ball signal from the home plate umpire. Hassel back on the rubber. Kicks and fires the 0-2. Outside and low for ball number 1 to Nicholas Strong. Strong starting at first base today. Got a start at first base in Game 2 of the Spearfish series. Nick Hamill started at first yesterday for the Trappers. So now a 1-2 with 1 out and 1 on. Pickoff attempt back to first base, but back in with no tag is Caden Cardoso. One and 2 to the first baseman Strong. The windup and pitch by Hassel. This one will head for out of play, a foul ball, nearly hitting a section of open fence where a Sunfish player is sitting. And if you're sitting anywhere in this stadium with no netting, you have to keep your head on a swivel. So Strong with the foul ball will keep the count where it is at 1 and 2. Pitch goes low in the dirt, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 away in the inning. Caden Cardoso standing at first. Eric Mast in the on-deck circle. Hassel rolls the ball behind his back. Sets it in his glove. Accepts the sign, kicks and fires. And a fly ball into right center field. That one is deep, and reaching up to make the catch is Burrows. Having to retreat back to first base as he thought it was going to get down is Caden Cardoso. And a long fly out for Nicholas Strong.
Now batting for the Trappers, the center fielder, number 6, Eric.
So although the ball traveled a far way, Cardoso retreats back to first. The second fly out to center field that Strong has flown into. 2 away in the inning. It will bring up Eric Mast, who grounded out to second base in his previous at-bat. First pitch misses for ball 1. First ever meeting between the Sunfish and Trappers from Hyde Stadium. The 1-0 will miss low for ball 2. Hassel again rolling the ball behind his back. Sets in his glove, kicks and fires to Mast. Pitch will go low. And a 3-0 count after Cardoso had walked earlier this inning. Adams on deck should Mast extend the inning. Expect the red light to be on for the center fielder for the Trappers. The windup in that pitch will catch the strike zone for strike number 1. Mast was starting to skip out of the batter's box to make his way to first before being called back by the home plate umpire, Connor Kroll. Pitch catches the strike zone for strike number 2. A windup and pitch with a full count will be fouled down the first base line into the Trappers' dugout on the first base side. Keeps the count full. And the 7th pitch of the at-bat going to be on the way from Hassel to Mast. Full count, 2 away in the inning, runner at first for the Trappers. A swing and a ground ball into foul territory. Again towards that Trappers dugout. It will kick off a fence and roll into the Trappers bullpen down the right field line. A full count, Mast working the pitch count of Hassel up. This is the 8th pitch of the at-bat. A swing and a foul ball off the ankle. Mast went down to a knee. But looks like he's all right. So now 8 pitches have come and gone in the at-bat to Mast. Count has remained full for quite a while. Mast either going to try to draw a walk, draw the first base hit the Trappers have gotten all day, or work the pitch count in the at-bat up to double digits with another foul ball here. Payoff pitch and tipped off the bat of Mast, keeping him alive in the at-bat and keeping the Trappers' bottom of the 4th inning alive. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away in the inning. Caden Cardoso stands at first base for the Pierre Trappers, and the 10th pitch of this at-bat going to be on the way from Griffin Hassel. Mast has been battling against Hassel. The windup and pitch, and that one will be swung on and missed. Hassel ends up winning the long battle against Eric Mast. The 4th strikeout of the day by Griffin Hassel. We're still scoreless through 4 complete. We'll be back for inning number 5 when we return here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube live stream. Join the Shell's loyalty program and never pay full price for gas again. Shell's loyalty members also get monthly specials for increased savings. Shell's doesn't just fill up your tank, but it also fills up your stomach with a variety of food and drinks. Become a loyalty club member today by visiting Shell's at 621 Sioux Avenue or give them a call at 605-224-6266. Fifth inning about to be underway here from Hyde Stadium. Returning for his 5th inning of work on the mound is Adrian Lopez. And despite allowing 3 Sunfish runners to reach via the walk, has only allowed 2 base hits, and no runner for the Sunfish has reached home safely. Current line scores through 4 complete innings. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 runners left on base for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. For the Pierre Trappers, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base for the Pierre Trappers. Lopez will have to take on the 7-8-9 portion of the Sioux Falls lineup in Dutka. In Dutka, Kalehu Avehi and Forte the second. First pitch to Dutka will bounce off the plate for ball number 1. Dutka attending El Paso Community College, playing for the Trojans in the regular season. And native of Richmond, Texas, will foul one off to the third base side and head out of play onto the berm over the Sioux Falls dugout on the third base side. Dutka making his first trip to play baseball outside of Texas. Grew up in Richmond, now playing in El Paso. A fly ball into right field. That will drop for a base hit. Fielding it will be the right fielder in Cardoso. So a leadoff base hit for Sioux Falls. So we'll bring up the designated hitter for the Sioux Falls Sunfish in Cade Kalehu Avehi, a native of Baldwin, Wailuka, Hawaii. Runner stands at first base for Sioux Falls after the leadoff base hit by Kenneth Dutka. First pitch will miss for ball number 1. Sunfish trying to strike first. They've had a few base runners on, and it's the third time today that the leadoff runner has gotten aboard for Sioux Falls. However, Lopez in each of those occurrences has been able to work out of it. Pickoff attempt back to first base, slide, but no tag by the first baseman, Strong. First of three between the Sunfish and Trappers here from Hyde Stadium. A big cut and a miss by Kalehu Avehi. Kalehu Avehi batting .346 entering today's game. He grounded into a double play last inning. Pitch will be taken for strike number 2. In his 9 hits so far, 1 extra base hit, it was a double, has walked 8 times, struck out 4, and is perfect on the base paths when trying to swipe a bag. 1-2 will be pitched high and into the screen. It almost looked like it was intentionally launched into the screen. However, time was called before the pitch, keeping the count where it is at 1-2. Just threw Lopez off. Pickoff attempt back to first base, but back in with no tag by Strong is the runner at first base in Dutka. Dutka has tried to steal a base 4 times this season. Pitch will be fouled back, keeping the count at 1-2. But Dutka has tried to steal 4 times, being successful in 3 of those times. A true pitcher in the starting lineup in right field for Sioux Falls. So Kalehu Avehi steps back in with a 1-2 count and nobody out. Lopez fires, and it's a ground ball to the second baseman. Flip onto short. The throw over to first. That one is in time. A 4-6-3 double play, and the second double play grounded into by Kalehu Avehi. So Dutka out at second base. Kalehu Avehi out at first. And 2 out in the inning. It also clears the bases for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, and it will bring up the 9-hole batter in Adonis Forte II, who grounded out to the shortstop in his previous at-bat. Forte, a native of Omaha, Nebraska. Pitch will go outside for ball number 1. Jumping up a state to play in Sioux Falls. Finished his freshman season at Southeast Missouri State. Pitch will catch the strike zone for strike number 1. Adonis did not get to play yesterday against the Pierre Trappers in the Sunfish home opener, but 2 games ago against the Whiskey Jacks went 0 for 3 with a walk. Came into today's game batting .296. A swing and a ground ball to the second baseman, and having trouble with it is Cole Yancey. So Yancey will be credited with the error. It's his second error of the season in the field. And the Sunfish get another runner on and a potential 2-out rally growing. So mark it as an E4 on the second baseman, Yancey. The first number popping up on the scoreboard on Pierre's line is not the one you want to see in terms of an error. Still scoreless here in the top of the 5th. A swing and a fly ball deep to left field and hooking well foul. Excuse the camera angle, our apologies. But it was hooking as a foul ball, and it was a deep foul ball at that by Blake Burrows, the new batter for Sioux Falls. So an 0-1 count starts to Blake Burrows, who's 0 for 2 today with a couple of groundouts to the first baseman and the pitcher. The 0-1 will catch the strike zone, so after a long foul ball to the left field line, pulled the opposite way by Blake Burrows, he'll take a pitch for a called strike number 2. Now an 0-2 count to Blake Burrows, still looking for his first base hit of the season after making his debut last night. Runner goes, Lopez, another opposite field foul ball will drop, no play made by the Pierre Trappers. Lopez a strike away from getting out of the inning in which 2 Sunfish batters have reached on a hit and an error. 23rd Trappers error in the field of the season in only their 8th game played. They are close, if not the top of the league in that category. So an 0-2 count to Blake Burrows with a runner standing at first base. Pitch will go high for ball number 1. Trappers and Sunfish still tied entering the top half of the 5th inning. It was a 1-1 ball game yesterday at this point in the game. Pitch goes outside. A throw down to first base is not in time. Evens the count at 2-2. It was a beautiful block by Adams, and it was such a beautiful block that I don't think that the runner at first and Forte the second was expecting it. Runner goes, a hit and run, fly ball to center field. The throw in from Mass to third base, but in at third. Now the throw to second. That one is safe, and everybody is safe for Sioux Falls. A hit and run executed to perfection for the Sunfish. 2 runners now in scoring position. So we'll bring up JT Mix after the single by Blake Burrows advanced to second on the throw. So 4th base hit of the day for Sioux Falls. Runner is 90 feet away for the second time tonight. Pitch will miss for ball 1. Currently, with Lopez nearing the end of 5 innings of work, no action so far tonight at all from the Trappers or Sunfish bullpen. Runner at third, creeping towards home, and Forte the second. Pitch will catch the strike zone, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Scoreless ball game here, top 5. JT Mix, the batter, 1 for 1. He singled and walked, but has reached both plate appearances. Trappers do have a spot to put a walk. It would load the bases and push a force at any base. 2 balls and 1 strike. If Mix were to draw a walk, it would bring up Benito Garcia, who's 0 for 2 today and entered today's game batting 242. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 away, runners at second and third for Sioux Falls trying to draw first blood. Pitch will miss outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. And for the Trappers, even though you would like to get out of the inning with an out here, it's not the worst thing in the world for Mix to get on via the walk, as it would force a force out at any base, including home. The 3-1. A check swing, no swing, but it's a ball anyway. It will load the bases, the 4th walk surrendered of the day by Adrian Lopez. Bases are loaded for the shortstop in Benito Garcia. Garcia had a 1 for 4 day yesterday. He singled in the 3rd inning of yesterday's ballgame and later came around to score. He was the leadoff batter of that inning. And now Monterio May will come out to talk to his pitcher in Adrian Lopez. Lopez so far has not allowed a base runner to score home safely, but with 2 outs and the bases loaded, the Trappers are at risk of it. So slowly the Trappers infield will peel off of the mound. The last to do so is the catcher in Colin Adams. Sacrifice play not in effect with 2 outs here in the inning for the Sunfish after a double play grounded into by Cade Kalehu-Avehi. The windup and pitch, a check swing, but they're going to say that he went around for strike number 1 on a ball in the dirt. Trappers trying to get out of a dangerous inning with the bases loaded. Lopez accepts the sign before Garcia steps in the box. Sets with an 0-1 count. Kicks and fires. A pitch dropped by Adams, but a called strike number 2 by the home plate umpire Kroll. And now with an 0-2 count, 2 away in the inning, bases loaded for the Sunfish. Perhaps the biggest pitch of the game so far coming from Adrian Lopez. So an 0-2 count. Still no action in the Trappers bullpen after the meeting on the mound by Coach May. He trusts Lopez to get out of the jam. The 0-2, a swing and a miss, and the Trappers get out of the inning. A foul tip into the glove of Colin Adams. Strike number 3, and the Sunfish leave the bases loaded here in the top half of the 5th. We're halfway through this ballgame. We're still scoreless with the Pierre Trappers coming up to bat in the bottom half of the 5th inning when we return here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube live stream.
The Pierre Trappers are proud to partner with the Governor's Inn, the exclusive motel partner of the Pierre Trappers. Call 605-224-4200 for a special Trappers rate when you visit Pierre and Hyde Stadium. Whether you're coming for the best hunting, fishing, and outdoor recreation in the Midwest, just passing through, or coming out to the ballpark, the Governor's Inn is the place for you.
Welcome back. Bottom of the 5th inning on tap as the Pierre Trappers and Sioux Falls Sunfish are still tied at 0 halfway through this ball game by half inning count. For the Pierre Trappers, due up it will be Colin Adams, Brendan Perez, and Cole Yancey, who are combined 0 for 2 today. But before we get started here in the bottom half of the 5th, a few more sponsors we'd like to thank of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season, including Oahe Federal Credit Union, Cattlemen's Club, Total Beauty Speedway Laundry, Zesto, and Farmers Union Insurance Mefford. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. Returning for his 5th inning of work is starting pitcher for the Sioux Falls Sunfish in Griffin Hassel. Hassel, through 4 innings, has allowed just 2 runners to get on base for the Pierre Trappers, both of them by the walk. Current line score: no runs on 4 hits, no errors for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. They've left 6 runners on base to this point. With 4 offensive innings, the Pierre Trappers, no runs, no hits, 1 error, 2 runners left on. It will be Adams, Perez, and Yancey due up. Colin Adams, still after 1 plate appearance in his debut for the Trappers, does not have an official at-bat. A fly ball to left field. That one is a diving play, and unable to get to it is Forte. Rounding first and heading for second is Colin Adams. And welcome to Pierre, his first official at-bat in his first game for the Trappers. Colin Adams with a leadoff double here in the bottom half of the 5th. So the first game in which Colin Adams plays for the Pierre Trappers, he brings some Division I talent to this team in Central South Dakota, will double in his debut against the Sunfish. With a runner at second base, it will bring up Brendan Perez. Perez fouls one back but makes contact. And as well, with that double, the first base hit for the Pierre Trappers here in the bottom of the fifth. A leadoff double by Colin Adams. We'll see if it affects Hassel in any way, giving up the first base hit to the Pierre Trappers and the first Trapper in scoring position all day. Hassel checks back over at Adams, standing at second. A swing and a miss by Perez for strike number 2. Second time Adams has been aboard today after walking in his first plate appearance back in the second. An 0-2 count to Brendan Perez, the third baseman. Listed as a pitcher but has been batting so far this season. For the Pierre Trappers, pitch goes high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. After Perez, it will be Cole Yancey. He currently stands in the on-deck circle for the Pierre Trappers. A swing and a line drive into left field. That one will end up being caught by Forte, the left fielder. Retreating back to second base is Adams, and 1 away in the inning. So 2 fly balls to the left fielder, Adonis Forte, the second. He dives for one and can't get to it. The other, he traces over a few steps to make the play for out number 1 of the inning. So after the fly out to the left fielder, Forte, there's 1 away in the inning. Runner still in scoring position. It'll be Cole Yancey who lined back to the pitcher and Hassel back in the third. Actually led off the third inning with that line out. First pitch to Yancey. That's a fly ball to left field. That one's going to drop for a base hit. Rounding third and coming home is Colin Adams. The throw is offline, and the Pierre Trappers strike first here from Hyde Stadium over their in-state rival in the Sioux Falls Sunfish. An RBI single by Cole Yancey drives in Perez, and the Pierre Trappers have a 1-0 lead here in the fifth. And after 4 no-hit innings by Griffin Hassel, the Pierre Trappers strike for a run. Runner stands at first in Cole Yancey. It will bring up Braden Cordes. Cordes shows bunt but pulls back. It will be a called strike anyway. Colin Adams reaches home safely off the RBI single by Yancey. Yancey currently remains at first with 1 away in the inning. The 0-1. Cordes shows bunt again, pulls back in time on an outside pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. And now some action starting to go in the Sunfish bullpen down the left field line. A couple of Sunfish players walking out to the on-field bullpen. Pitch inside is a called strike to Braden Cordes. Again, Hassel, after 4 no-hit innings, allows 2 base hits here in the bottom of the fifth to allow the Trappers to get on the board. A foul ball keeps the at-bat alive for Braden Cordes. Cordes did strike out swinging against Griffin Hassel in his previous at-bat back in the third. Trappers up 1-0, bottom 5. Hassel winds up and pitches a foul tip into the glove for strike number 3. It's the second time Cordes has gone down on strikes against Griffin Hassel. And it's Hassel's 5th punch-out against the Trappers, averaging 1 strikeout per inning to this point. So the lineup card flips over to bring up Tyler Skelton. Skelton was hot against both Western Nebraska and Spearfish. slowed down yesterday, had an 0 for 4 day against Sioux Falls. He is the designated hitter today, and he's starting his day 0 for 2 against the team from East River. Foul ball straight back over our heads in the press box. Thuds off the top of the press box here at Hyde Stadium down the right field line. For strike number 1. A pickoff attempt back in safely with no tag is Cole Yancey. Steps back on the rubber. To continue to face Tyler Skelton is Griffin Hassel. There is action now in the Sioux Falls bullpen guaranteed. The pitcher starting to warm up and throw. Can't tell who it is from here. Skelton shows bunt but fouls it off for strike number 2. And now a dangerous situation for Skelton to continue to bunt because another fouled bunt with 2 strikes, that would be a strikeout against Tyler Skelton, the designated hitter. Skelton came into today's game batting .382. That currently would be going down with an 0 for 2 game. Runner goes, the ball, throw down to second base is not in time, and a stolen base by Cole Yancey. Skelton took the pitch with 2 strikes. Runner in scoring position, 1 ball and 2 strikes. For Yancey, it's his second stolen bag on now 2 attempts. Only his second attempt to swipe a base all season, and it's the 9th stolen base overall for the Trappers, as a swing and a miss by Skelton will end the inning, but not before a couple of base hits, including a leadoff double by Colin Adams, helped the Trappers to get to a 1-0 lead. We're through 5 complete, and a pitcher's duel, 1-0. The Pierre Trappers in front. We'll be back for the 6th inning of play when we return here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube live stream.
When it comes to clothing in the capital area, Total Beauty and Speedway Laundry have you covered. Speedway Laundry offers the fastest way to clean clothes, with free Wi-Fi offered while you wait. Next door, family-owned and operated Total Beauty has a constantly changing inventory of top quality clothing. Check out the newest lines in clothing by giving Total Beauty and Speedway Laundry a visit at 111 First Street in Fort Pierre.
Sixth inning of play, the Pierre Trappers have taken the lead 1-0. Here from Hyde Stadium, Adrian Lopez returns for his 6th inning of work after pitching 5 shutout innings, allowing 4 base hits on the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Through 5 complete, the line scores no runs on 4 hits, no errors, with a total of 6 runners left on base for the Sunfish. For the Pierre Trappers, 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error. They've left 3 on base. Stepping into the batter's box to lead off the 6th inning will be Jonathan Brandon. It will be Carter Tibbetts and then Jesus Licon rounding out the Sunfish batters due up this inning. Wind up and pitch, and an immediate fly ball to center field. Underneath it and making the catch is Eric Mast. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 6th as Lopez tries to pitch 6 complete. It will bring up Carter Tibbetts. Tibbetts 0 for 1 with a walk and a pop out to the second baseman in the middle infield. First pitch, Tibbetts has to duck out of the way for ball 1. One to nothing, Trappers lead top 6, although the Sunfish are doubling the Trappers' hit total. Fastball by Lopez will find the inside part of the strike zone for strike number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. Here, top 6. Tibbetts at bat. A breaking ball finds the strike zone. Tibbetts wanted no part of that pitch. Did not even look like he was going to offer at that. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lopez, another breaking ball. That one will go too high, however. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We appreciate you all sticking with us here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube live stream as game 1 of 3 here from Hyde Stadium between the Sioux Falls Sunfish and the Pierre Trappers. A swing fouled back into the screen where it says "Welcome to Hyde Stadium." The second time that sign has been hit today. Keeps the count where it is at 2 balls and 2 strikes for the catcher Tibbetts. Jesus Licone on deck. Another breaking ball. That one catches the strike zone. Carter Tibbetts goes down looking. Strikeout number 4 on the day for Trapper pitcher Adrian Lopez. It will bring up Jesus Licone. Licone 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout in that order in both the 2nd and 4th innings respectively. First pitch will miss on the low and outside part of the plate for ball number 1. So a 1-0 count. Lopez takes a deep breath, kicks and fires. Breaking ball. That he's been catching that strike zone a bit today with that breaking ball, but to no avail. That one high for ball 2. A high pop fly heading into foul territory down the right field line. The first baseman Strong went after it, but it goes out of play for strike number 1. So 2 balls and 1 strike after the high pop-up foul ball hit by Jesus Licone. Trying to start a 2-out rally for the Sioux Falls Sunfish here in the top half of the 6th. Lopez kicks and fires that breaking ball yet again, missing. So now a hitter's count to the first baseman for the Sunfish in Licone. A check swing, but they're going to say that he went around. The count runs full to the Sunfish first baseman. Licone, a native of El Paso, Texas, playing his regular season collegiate baseball at York College for the Panthers. The payoff pitch, a swing and a foul ball heading into the screen down the third base line. Heading after it to pick up the ball is the batter in the hole in Cade Kalehuavehi. Full count remains to Licone. Steps in the batter's box. Lopez fires a ground ball to the third baseman. Diving but can't get to it is Perez. Licone is 2 for 3 today with a single into left field. It will be ruled as a base hit for Licone despite heading off the glove of Perez, but a diving play means that it remains a base hit. It will bring up Kenneth Dutka. Dutka 1 for 2 today with a ground out to the first baseman unassisted and a single out between the bases on a double play. First pitch swinging a high pop fly, heading back and out of play. About 7 rows into the crowd on the third base side. Running over and after it was Colin Adams. But that run over by Adams to the screen gives Lopez and Adams a quick time to chat before Lopez heads back to the mound. Trappers lead 1-0 here in the top of the 6th, 2 away. Runner standing at first base in Jesus Licone. So the 0-1 to Dutka. Pitch and another high pop fly. That one will go a little farther than before. Barely missing a parked car on Capitol Avenue. Hyde Stadium, situated in an interesting part of Pierre, situated right in between, maybe a half a block away from the state capitol building, half a block away from the governor's mansion. And then if you just draw a line, another time called, and Lopez fires another ball way up into the screen. If you were to draw a line from second base to third and just keep going, you would eventually hit Capitol Pond, which separates the governor's mansion and the South Dakota State Capitol building. So a few landmarks down the left field line here in Pierce, South Dakota. Runner goes on a hit and run given away by the foul ball. Dutka fouls it back into the screen. Trappers have had some luck with opposing hit and runs. Only one was successful, and that was tonight against Sioux Falls. However, most of the hit and run situations that opposing teams have called for against the Trappers have been given away by foul balls. The 0-2, and that's a called strike number 3. Second punch out of the inning strands a runner for Sioux Falls. The 5th punch out of the day as Lopez goes through 6 scoreless innings against the Sunfish. The Trappers will try to add on to their 1-0 lead when we return for the bottom of the 6th inning here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube live stream. We'll be right back.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories with family, friends, and your community is just a way of life. Yes, in times like these, it's good to be home. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting what's important in life.
Bottom of the 6th inning on tap here from Hyde Stadium. New pitcher for the Sioux Falls Sunfish comes in, but before we get you caught up on him, we'd like to thank a few more sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season, including Central Dakota Eye Care, Perkins, May Adam, American Family Insurance, Brittany Shufflebine, and the Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. New pitcher comes in for the 6th inning. A D1 talent for the Sunfish in number 25, Nick Caviglia. Caviglia, a native of Fresno, California. The sophomore plays his regular season baseball for the Maine Black Bears. The Trappers also have a few players coming from the University of Maine. However, they have not checked in at the offices in downtown Pierre and have not made their appearance for the Trappers so far this season. But the first Black Bear to make an appearance here from Hyde Stadium this season is the new pitcher for the Sioux Falls Sunfish in Nick Caviglia. The only left-handed pitcher out of a vast bullpen for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. So Caviglia, the left-handed pitcher, as Walker Burlington, the head coach of the Sioux Falls Sunfish, burns his left-handed option here in Game 1 of the series. Leading things off for the Pierre Trappers, and the first batter to face off against Caviglia will be Thomas McKenna. Then it will be Caden Cardoso and Nicholas Strong due up in the bottom half of the 6th inning. First pitch misses for ball number 1. So the starting pitcher for the Sioux Falls Sunfish in Griffin Hassel, as another pitch will run inside and low for ball number 2. Pitched 4 no-hit innings for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Then the Trappers laid 2 base hits and scored a run in the bottom of the 5th that chased Hassel from the game and puts in Caviglia. Swing on Caviglia into right field, chasing back on it, reaching up to make the catch is Dutka. Dutka just a few steps away from the warning track out in right field. McKenna had an impressive fly ball yesterday at Karis Park in Sioux Falls. It one bounced off the wall, but that one will not get down as Dutka makes the catch in right. The second fly out to right field today flown into by Thomas McKenna. So we'll bring up Caden Cardoso, the power hitter for the Pierre Trappers, as a pitch will miss in the dirt for ball number 1. However, Cardoso has not been having a good stretch since the Trappers left Hyde Stadium to head to Spearfish. Pitch misses for ball 2. Cardoso 0 for 1, struck out swinging in the first and walked in the fourth, trying to get his first base hit in quite some time. Pitch will miss for ball number 3. In fact, you have to look back quite some time to see Cardoso's last base hit. Pitch will be called for a strike. So Cardoso now with a 3-1 count. Now a single into left field. Cardoso breaks his streak of no-hit games with a single here in the bottom of the 6th inning from Hyde Stadium. So a one-out single by Caden Cardoso. And as I mentioned, you have to look back quite some time to find Cardoso's last base hit. It was back on May 28th. In Game 1 of the Western Nebraska series, Cardoso singled in the 6th inning. So about a week in between base hits for Caden Cardoso. So we'll bring up Nicholas Strong, who swings at a pitch in the dirt for strike number 1. Cardoso's single represents the 3rd base hit for the Pierre Trappers today. They had 2 in the 5th inning, now 1 here in the 6th. Pickoff attempt to Cardoso, but back in there safely. Caviglia will receive the ball back, and an 0-1 count on Nicholas Strong. Strong 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts to the center fielder Burrows. Pitch will catch the strike zone down the center of the plate for strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes, 1 away in the inning and 1 on for the Pierre Trappers here in the bottom of the 6th, taking on a new pitcher in Nick Caviglia. A foul ball will head out of play down the right field line. But Strong stays alive in the at-bat. On deck is Eric Mast, still looking for his base hit of the season as Mast. But it will be Strong, who is 0 for 6 combined against the Sunfish this season. Runner goes, and now a hit and run given up by the Pierre Trappers as it's fouled back into the screen. Cardoso was breaking for second, but with a foul ball, Cardoso will have to go back to where he was at first base. (0-2) to Nicholas Strong with Cardoso standing at first. Mast would come up barring a double play hit into by Strong. Caviglia winds up and deals. Pitch goes outside for ball number 1 of the at-bat. Pitchers duel so far. To this point in the game, yesterday the Sunfish had a 4-1 lead and ended up scoring in the bottom of the 6th to extend their lead to 5-1. They ended up winning by a score of 6-1, adding 1 more throughout the course of the game. A swing and a miss by Strong for the strikeout. The first strikeout by Caviglia, making his first appearance for the Sioux Falls Sunfish this season. And we've had to say that a lot about a lot of batters for the Sunfish, or excuse me, a lot of players for the Sunfish. 5 of the 10 starting Sunfish yesterday were playing for the first time. Both pitchers that have come in so far for the Sunfish are playing for the first time this season as well. So the Trappers don't really have a scouting report against other Expedition League teams. Pickoff attempt, but back in standing is Cardoso at first. So Mass batting with 2 outs in the inning. Runner at first. Foul ball back and into the crowd, and that might have escaped the ballpark. So no balls and 1 strike to Eric Mass, the center fielder, still looking for his first Expedition League base hit of his career. Pickoff attempt, but again back in standing is Cardoso. Should Mass extend the inning, it would bring up Colin Adams, the hero so far for the Trappers, with a leadoff double that allowed him to score on an RBI single by Cole Yancey. Pitch in the dirt. Stop sign put up draws Cardoso back to first. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. A quick game yesterday from Sioux Falls, as the total game time was exactly 2.5 hours. Currently about an hour, and as a foul ball down the right field line, just to the right of the first base bag for strike number 2. And as I was saying, about an hour and 45 minutes game time to this point in the ball game. Game start time was 7:05. Current time is 8:50 here in Pierre. So now a 1-2 count. A check swing. They're going to appeal to the field umpire. Says he didn't see it, so it goes back to the home plate umpire, who says he went around for strike number 3 of the inning. Through 6 complete, the pitcher's duel remains with a 1-0 lead for the Pierre Trappers. We'll be back for the 7th inning here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube stream. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's the old Top Gator here with Gators Pizza Pasta Subs in the Northridge Plaza. Gators is known for top quality food. Now you can have our food selections delivered right to your front door using DoorDash. That's right, now you have 4 ways that you can get great Gators food: dine in, carry out, curbside pickup, and now delivery through DoorDash. Gators has been serving the Pierre area and now Trappers baseball fans since 1987. Gators Pizza Pasta Subs in the Northridge Plaza.
As we are about to begin the 7th inning, there's a few more sponsors we would like to thank for the Pierre Trappers 2021 baseball season, including Edward Jones, Mark Ullman, First United Methodist Church, Oahe Pond, Allied Plumbing and Heating, and Stella Rosa Wine. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. Returning for his 7th inning of work is Adrian Lopez. A single out here would make him the longest lasting starting pitcher for the Pierre Trappers this season. He'll have to take on the 8-9-1 of the order, starting off with the designated hitter number 5 in Cade Kalehuavehi. First pitch swinging over to the second baseman. Picking it up is Yancey. Yancey on to first in time for the out. So Kalehuavehi goes down on 1 pitch swinging. And a quick 4-3 ground out for the designated hitter. Kalehuavehi, a mouthful of a name that I had to practice and hear from the Sioux Falls crew when they arrived here to Hyde Stadium. Eventually got it figured out, worked with the PA announcer here at Hyde Stadium, and Kalehu Avehi, first pitch taken for ball number 1 to Adonis Forte the second. But eventually got it figured out. Those Hawaiian names can certainly be difficult. Ground ball again to the second baseman, Yancey. Yancey on to first in time, and back-to-back groundouts to the second baseman. For the Sioux Falls Sunfish, Lopez quickly through 6 2/3 of an innings overall. 2 away here, top 7. It will bring up the center fielder, and the lineup card flips over for the Sioux Falls Sunfish for Blake Burrows. Burrows 1 for 3. He singled in the 5th, grounded out back to the pitcher Lopez in the 3rd, and grounded out to the first baseman Strong unassisted back in the 1st. 2 outs in the inning, nobody on. Burrows swatting away some gnats that are gathering around home plate. Steps back in the batter's box. Lopez deals, and a fly ball into shallow left field. Reaching up to make the catch is the shortstop in Cordes. Another good defensive play by Cordes. 1-2-3 go the Sioux Falls Sunfish in the 7th inning, as 7 shutout innings pitched by starting pitcher Adrian Lopez. It's time to stand up and stretch your legs. 7th inning stretch here from Hyde Stadium. We'll be back for the Trappers' half of the 7th inning. And be sure to stand up and stretch from home. We'll be back here from the Pierre Trappers YouTube live stream. Dan-O's Marine is a proud partner of Pierre Trappers Baseball. Located at 320 St. Charles Street, Dan-O's provides service on your boat to get you back out on the water in the dog days of summer. Give them a call at 605-224-6612. That's Dan-O's Marine at 605-224-6612. Any water, any problem, Dan-O's Marine. Bottom of the 7th inning, about to get underway here from Hyde Stadium. But before we do, we'd like to thank just a couple more sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season, including the Oahe Family YMCA, Papa Murphy's Pizza, Todd's Electric, Xander Auto Parts, and Chase Auto and RV. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. So leading things off will be Colin Adams. He's 1 for 1 after leading off the 5th inning with a double. He takes the first pitch low for ball number 1. Adams fouls one back straight to the left side that hits off the Sioux Falls broadcast booth. That must have given him a heart attack next door. Went straight back. Check swing by Adams. Appeal down. They say no swing for ball 2. So a 2-1 count to the leadoff batter and the catcher, Colin Adams. A foul ball again. That one goes over the Hyde Stadium sign and out onto Ree. Hyde Stadium snugged in between Capitol Avenue and Ree Street. Ree Street, the right field line, Capitol Avenue down the left field line. A ball low. 3 balls, 1 strike. Other perks of Hyde Stadium. Dead center field there is the Boys and Girls Club of the Capitol area. Haven't seen it so far this season, but there have been reports of previous seasons of home runs hitting off of that building. A ground ball through the left side for a base hit. Colin Adams, 2 for 2. Have yourself a day. Has reached on all 3 plate appearances after a walk, a double, and now a single here to lead off the 7th. It will bring up Brendan Perez, the third baseman for the Pierre Trappers. And so far today, as we enter the late half of this game in the bottom of the 7th inning, only 1 substitution overall has been made, and it was the Sioux Falls pitcher taking out Griffin Hassel in place of Nick Caviglia, who returns for his 2nd inning of work. High pop fly, heading back into the crowd. Out of play. But over the right field wall where the scoreboard is, an active train track past the parking lot. We've seen it, a train go by once so far this season, back in the opening homestand. A swing and a miss for strike number 2. Colin Adams stands at first. Brendan Perez, the current batter, with nobody out in the inning. Trappers holding a tight 1-0 lead over the Sioux Falls Sunfish, trying to add some insurance this inning. The pitch from Caviglia, a pop fly back into the crowd. Almost the exact same location. Additionally, over the right field foul line, across the street on Ree Street is the Pierre Governors T.F. Riggs High School football field. Pitch will go high for ball 1. So just a lot of landmarks surrounding this area of Pierre. Boys and Girls Club, active train track, Governor's Mansion, State Capitol, and the high school football field, as well as Hyde Stadium. Pickoff attempt back in standing is Colin Adams. A beautiful day from Pierre despite being a little hot to start off the day. Game time temperature was 99 degrees. That hasn't cooled down by much. Pitch will go high, evening the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Temperature is now down to 90 degrees in Pierre, South Dakota at 10 o'clock. In exactly 1 hour, it's supposed to drop 6 degrees with the sun setting in 21 minutes. Pitch will go low and away, full count, as Perez has worked the count back to full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The windup and pitch by Caviglia. That one bounces in the dirt and gets away. Adams allowed to go to third. He'll take a few steps towards third, but retreat back to second base. So 2 straight Trappers will reach base. Colin Adams by a base hit, and then Brendan Perez by a walk. The first walk surrendered by Caviglia. It will bring up Cole Yancey, the second baseman who has the lone RBI in today's game, an RBI single back in the 5th that drove in Colin Adams. Caviglia set, steps off the rubber. So now a quick meeting at the mound between Tibbetts, the catcher, and Caviglia, the pitcher. Sun beginning to set here from Pierre, and golden hour from the far central time zone. Cole Yancey, the batter, shows bunt but fouls it back for a strike. An interesting part yet again of this area of the country and Pierre. From our press box here at Hyde Stadium, you can look over across the Missouri River and see some mountains in Fort Pierre. You can quite literally look into the mountain time zone where it's currently 8 o'clock. Called strike for strike number 2. So a bit odd that we're currently at our current local time of 9:02, but you can literally look at a place in the country where it is 8:02. I know not exactly time traveling, but we can all believe what we want to believe. Yancey lays down a bunt, back to the pitcher, Caviglia. Caviglia, the toss over to third. He is The ball on the ground pops out of the glove of the third baseman, Brandon, and everybody is safe for the Pierre Trappers. It will go down as a fielder's choice on Cole Yancey. So now nobody out and the bases loaded. It will bring up, however, Braden Cordes, who to this point in the game has been struggling with 2 strikeouts swinging, however, both of them on Griffin Hassel. It's his first time taking on the lefty in Caviglia. Cordes stands in the right-handed batter's box, so a lefty-righty matchup. First pitch will go high for ball number 1. With the bases loaded and nowhere to put the runner, a walk here surrendered by Nick Caviglia would drive in the second run of the ballgame for the Pierre Trappers. Second pitch swinging for strike 1. Evens the count at 1-1. Caviglia receives the ball back. The 1-1 count in the dirt. Tibbetts with a good block, likely saving a run from scoring for the Pierre Trappers. 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out, bottom 7. The Trappers holding on to a narrow 1-0 lead. Cordes, the current batter with nobody out. Skelton in the on-deck circle. Pitch runs on the inside part of the plate for a called strike number 2. Caviglia works himself even in the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. First of 3 between the Sunfish and Trappers here from Hyde Stadium. Second of 6 overall. A swing and a miss, and Cordes for the 3rd time tonight will go down swinging. 3rd punch out of the game by Nick Caviglia. And overall, the 9th time the Trappers have struck out today combined on the start by Hassel and now Caviglia, the reliever. If the score holds at this current point and no more runs are scored by either side and the final score ends up remaining Trappers 1, Sunfish nothing, it would be Hassel getting the loss, Lopez getting the win. However, with a lot of baseball left to change, with a lot of baseball left to play, wouldn't be surprised if that score ended up changing for one team or another. A ground ball up the middle. That one will get through. That in to score is Colin Adams. The stop sign is held up, so the Trappers will play station to station. Everybody is safe on the RBI base hit by Tyler Skelton. It was long overdue. So the Trappers, with 1 out in the inning, have now extended their lead to 2-0 over their in-state rivals in the Sioux Falls Sunfish and have a chance to break their 3-game losing streak. So in to score is Colin Adams. Advancing to 3rd was Brendan Perez, now standing at 2nd base. And now in scoring position is Cole Yancey off the Tyler Skelton single. Skelton stands at 1st. Caviglia hangs his arm. Steps back on the rubber and sets. The kick inside for ball number 1. Thomas McKenna, the new batter for the Pierre Trappers. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of flyouts to right and a ground out to the shortstop Garcia. A pop fly, foul territory out of play. It will go down as strike number 1. It's McKenna taking the current at-bat and then Caden Cardoso on deck. Still 1 away in the inning. Cardoso will get the at-bat, barring a double play hit into by McKenna. Sacrifice fly could be in effect. Ball in the dirt. Tibbetts a good block. A 2-1 count to McKenna. McKenna, a native of Spokane, Washington, plays his baseball for Spokane Falls Community College, one of 4 Trappers players from that school. The others being Ryan Cross, Brent Bramlett, and Braden Cordes. Pitch in the dirt, kicks up some dirt in front of home plate. A hitter's count to Thomas McKenna, 3 balls and 1 strike. Trappers also getting a few more players native of Spokane, Washington, but that don't necessarily attend Spokane Falls. So a hitter's count to McKenna with the bases loaded. He swings into left field. That one will be caught by Forte. Coming into score is Brendan Perez after tagging up. The other 2 Trappers remain where they are, and the Trappers put up a 2 spot here in the bottom of the 7th to extend their lead to 3-0. It will bring up Cardoso. A sacrifice fly to the left fielder Forte. Only Perez moves up on the sac fly by McKenna. He comes in to score. Yancey stays at second. Skelton stays at first for Cardoso. The first pitch, check swing. And they're going to call it a strike. A foul tip by Cardoso for the first strike of the at-bat. Runners at first and second, the Trappers have already put up 2 this inning. Pitch will go low in the dirt, another good block by Tibbetts. Tibbetts has been doing an excellent job behind the plate when Trappers are in scoring position to stop them from moving up. A lot of good blocks by the Sioux Falls catcher in Tibbetts. Head of another D1 product for Sioux Falls, playing for the Lobos of New Mexico. One pitch will go outside and low for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cardoso, the native of Abbotsford, British Columbia, plays collegiate baseball in one state north of here in South Dakota for the Minot State Beavers. Minot State sharing their stadium. Ball low in the dirt for ball 3. Minot State sharing their stadium with a fellow Expedition League team in the Souris Valley Saber Dogs. Trappers do get to play at Souris Valley this year, but the Saber Dogs do not travel to Hyde Stadium in the 2021 campaign. So now a hitter's count to Caden Cardoso. Pitch will catch the letters and the plate for strike number 2. Count will go full to the Canadian Trapper, the lone international player for the Pierre Trappers this season. So now a full count, 2 outs. Runners at first and second for the Pierre Trappers. The windup and pitch, a ground ball into foul territory. And the count remains full, 3 balls and 2 strikes, bottom 7. The Pierre Trappers have extended their lead from 1-0 entering this inning. They put up 2 this inning. They now lead 3-0 over the Sioux Falls Sunfish, who got the better of the Trappers yesterday in Sioux Falls from Caras Park. A swing by Cardoso. That one will get to the second baseman. Mix fires onto first, and that ends the inning for the Pierre Trappers. But not before they put up 2 off a sacrifice fly by Thomas McKenna and an RBI single by Tyler Skelton. The Trappers will head into the 8th inning, up by 3 over the Sioux Falls Sunfish. We'll be back for the final 2 innings of play here from Hyde Stadium on the Pierre Trappers YouTube live stream. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Wow, Shell's Quick Stop is the place to go for a variety of food, drinks, fishing tackle, and more. Hungry? Come on down for breakfast pizza, burritos, biscuits and gravy, soup, salad, and wraps. Thirsty? Try their hot and cold espresso drinks, lattes, frappuccinos, and milkshakes from the drive-up window. Heading down to the water? Stop by to pick up minnows, crawlers, and leeches to secure the big bites. All of it's down at Shell's at 621 West Sioux Avenue. Welcome back. 8th inning on tap after the Pierre Trappers put up 2 in the bottom half of the 7th. Before we get going in the 8th inning, a few more sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season we'd like to extend a thank you to, including Avera, Beck Motors, Slumberland, Foster's Rentals, and Wheelhouse Plumbing. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. Top of the 8th inning on tap and returning for inning number 8 is number 8 in Adrian Lopez. Has pitched all 7 so far in his start. On the way back from Sioux Falls last night, Lopez and I were roommates on the ride back from Caris Park. Ended up talking about pitching, what life was like. I'm a native of Florida. He's a native of California. Just comparing the east-west dynamic of the country and how we're all here in Pierre, South Dakota, as a pitch will go to the second baseman, and Yancey throw on to first is in time for the out as the leadoff batter, JT Mix, goes down on 1 pitch. It will bring up Benito Garcia. But what we continue to talk about is how we're both here in South Dakota for simply what we love, playing baseball, whether that be calling games for the fans or pitching on the mound, entering his 8th inning of work. But what he did talk about was how he could have gotten the potential start. As we know now, he eventually did. Pitch will run inside for ball number 1. And his direct words to me on the bus when he was talking about a potential start against the team they just lost to, if I can throw strikes, they can't touch me. And so far, I believe only 3 walks on the line for Lopez and 7 shutout innings on his line so far as he called strike to Benito Garcia. A ball will go out of the Sioux Falls bullpen as somebody's warming up to try to relieve Nick Caviglia. So a 1-1 count to the leadoff batter in the second batter of the inning in Benito Garcia. So 1 ball and 1 strike now to Garcia. 2 balls and 1 strike to the shortstop for the Sunfish. I mentioned it earlier, but Garcia, the only Sunfish players so far to play in every game and start every game. All of them have been at the shortstop position. Fly ball back to left field. Jumping up to make the catch is Thomas McKenna, the left fielder for the Pierre Trappers. 2 outs in the inning. So with 2 away in the inning, it will bring up the third baseman in Jonathan Brandon. So fly out to Thomas McKenna for Benito Garcia. 2 outs. The Sunfish down to their final 4 outs of today's game. They've won 3 in a row. The Trappers trying to end that winning streak for the team from Sioux Falls. One ball, no strikes to the batter, Brandon. A couple pitchers warming up in the Trappers bullpen. Pitch will catch the strike zone for strike 1. The 2 Trappers warming up down the right field line, Tyler Lubin and Jared Shelton. Some double-barreled action with 2 right-handers. The 1-1 will run inside, and ducking out of the way is Jonathan Brandon. 2 balls and 1 strike. Trappers leading 3-0 here in the top of the 8th inning. Current line score, no runs on 5 hits, no errors, with 7 runners left on base for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Ground ball puts the count even on Jonathan Brandon. 2 balls and 2 strikes. For the Pierre Trappers, 3 runs on 5 hits, 1 error, with 6 runners left on base. Pitch will go high, and now a full count to the third batter of the inning in Jonathan Brandon, as Lopez a strike away from working through 8 shutout innings over the Sioux Falls Sunfish. A ground ball down and foul heading towards the Trappers bullpen. Count remains 3-2 in a battle between Brandon and Lopez. Nobody on with 2 outs. A swing up the middle. Heading towards the second baseman. Yancey's got it. Fires onto first, but not in time. It will be a 2-out base hit for Jonathan Brandon. So Brandon reaches for the first time today by the base hit. He walked back in the 4th. But the Sioux Falls Sunfish do have a runner on. And that's all they really need right now is 1 piece to start the rally. It will bring up number 2, Carter Tibbetts, who's 0 for 2 today. He walked back in the 2nd, reached 3rd, but could not score as he was stranded there. Popped out to the second baseman and then struck out looking in his last at-bat back in the top half of the 6th. First pitch will run inside, and that will actually end up hitting Carter Tibbetts. So now 2 runners on for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, 1 in scoring position as Jonathan Brandon advances to second base. It will bring up Jesus Licon. Licon represents the tying run, and here comes Monterio May to talk to his pitcher on the mound. The Trappers do have 2 options in the bullpen currently. And we'll see if this is it for Adrian Lopez, who's currently pitched through 7 2/3. And May going to leave his starter out there to try to pitch through 8 shutout innings with a 3-run lead. I was talking to Coach May after one of the games in the first initial homestand in which the Trappers faced the Sodbusters and the Pioneers. As the new batter will be Jesus Licon. First pitch will run inside for ball 1. But May said to me that he likes to see every guy try to work out of a jam. And with 2 outs and 2 runners on and a 3-run ball game, tying run at the plate, this is certainly a jam for Lopez. Pitch runs inside, grazes the jersey, but Licon staying there. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 will run outside for ball number 3. And you have to expect if Lopez walks the bases loaded, it would be about time to consider a potential call to the bullpen. Dancing over at second base is Jonathan Brandon. The 3-0 is in there for a called strike number 1. So now 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 runners on for the Sunfish in a 3-0 game in which the Trappers lead. Lopez kicks and fires, ball high and inside, as the Sunfish have now loaded the bases here in the top of the 8th with 2 away. Walk number 5 surrendered by Adrian Lopez, as he could be nearing the end of his rope, and now here comes May. And with this being the second mound visit of the inning, Lopez will officially go through 7 2/3 of an innings. Not sure if it will be shutout ball yet, as he's responsible for all 3 runners on the base paths, but Incoming to pitch for the Pierre Trappers is Tyler Lubin. He receives the baseball, and Adrian Lopez getting a standing ovation from the crowd in Hyde Stadium for his 7 shutout innings of work and pitched through 7 2/3. We'll give Tyler Lubin, the new pitcher for the Pierre Trappers, time to warm up. We'll be right back here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube live stream.
You don't need an illness to need a doctor. You don't need to feel sick to feel better. You don't need to be unwell to get well. What you do need is a primary care provider at Sanford Health. Better healthcare starts with regular wellness visits and a familiar face who knows you, your concerns, and your goals. We're here before you need us. We're here when you need us. We're here after you need us. We're here for you. Find your primary care provider at sanfordhealth.org today.
Tyler Lubin comes into pitch. Before we get you caught up on his statistics, just a couple more sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season that we would like to extend a thank you towards, including the Paint Store 2, Gators Pizza, United Way Delta Dental, Gentleman's Barber Shop, the Governor's Inn, Corner Station, The Crossing, Guadalajara, and Hero Gym. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. Coming in to pitch is fellow Minot State product for the Pierre Trappers in Tyler Lubin, the sidearm pitcher for the Trappers. Comes in to try to shut the door in what would be a safe situation if he pitches through the 9th innings. Apologies for the camera angle issues at the moment, getting that resolved, and we should be good to go for the Kenneth Dutka at bat. Lubin gets set. Dutka, the first batter that Lubin has to face. Pitch goes outside for a ball, and ball number 1 of the at bat. Lubin, in 3 appearances for the Trappers this season, has a 0 ERA with a 1-0 record in 6.2 innings pitched. Save situation. Ball gets away on a pickoff attempt to the third baseman. And coming in to score is Jonathan Brandon. So the 8 shutout innings dream for Adrian Lopez ends with Brandon scoring on a error by the Pierre Trappers. So we'll go down as an error on Tyler Lubin. Pitch will go low for a ball. Advancing on every other bag, Carter Tibbetts will advance to third. Jesus Licon advances to second. A swing and a miss puts the count at 2 balls and 1 strike. Tyler Lubin last appeared in Game 1 against Spearfish. Pitched 1 2/3 of an innings, allowed 2 hits, a strikeout, no walks, and no runs scored. Lubin's pitch goes outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Runners at second and third for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, now down in this game 3-1 here in the 8th. Tying run is in scoring position. Ball gets away. It's ball 4, but a live ball plates another run for the Sunfish. So now it's panic time for the Pierre Trappers as the tying run is just 90 feet away. It will bring up Cade Kalehuavehi. First pitch will run inside and hit Kalehuavehi. The Sioux Falls Sunfish now have the bases loaded. Bases loaded once more. For the Sioux Falls Sunfish. It will now be Adonis Forte the second taking the at-bat. Trappers trying to get out of the inning with a one-run lead. Pitch goes outside for ball number 1 with 2 away in the inning. Lead slowly slipping from the Trappers. It's now down to 1 with the tying run 90 feet away and the go-ahead run standing at second. Bases loaded for the Sunfish. Pitch will go down the center of the plate. The sidearm action finally gets a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 away in the inning. Facing off against Adonis Forte the second, who's 0 for 3 with a couple of groundouts and a reach on an error. So 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch by Lubin. Ground ball to the second baseman. It will be picked up by the first baseman, Strong. He is bodied and down. The first baseman charging in Forte. Strong gets up, but it looks like you might not be okay as Adonis Forte, who collided with Strong on the bag. They were both racing towards first base. And Adonis Forte just didn't see Strong coming to try to pick up the 3 unassisted. It will remain a 2-run inning for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Forte seems to be favoring a leg. He will walk back to the dugout. As the left fielder for the Sunfish, we will wait to see if they will go to a bench player. We will be right back for the bottom of the 8th inning here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube stream. We hope Adonis Forte is okay. We'll be right back.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories with family, friends, and your community is just a way of life. Yes, in times like these, it's good to be home. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting what's important in life.
Yes. 23 is Andalo Santangelo. Andalo. A-N-D-E-A-L-O. Or A-N-D-A-L-O. Excuse me. Welcome back to the Pierre Trappers YouTube live stream. As you just heard me mentioning, a new pitcher for the Sioux Falls Sunfish is Andalo Santangelo, a freshman for the Towson Tigers out of Ophir, Colorado, calling that his hometown. He will come in to pitch the 8th inning against the Pierre Trappers. He wears number 23 for the Sunfish and is the 3rd pitcher to appear for Sioux Falls today. Bottom of the 8th inning here from Hyde Stadium. The Trappers' lead in the previous inning was cut to just 1 after a 2-run inning by the Sioux Falls Sunfish made this a game. So Strong, who was just collided into by Adonis Forte, will lead things off here this inning. He takes the first pitch for strike number 1. I believe that is a new left fielder as well for the Sunfish, unsure of who it is. Pitch will run outside for a ball, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. A fly ball to right field, diving in foul territory to try to make the play was Dutka, the right fielder. It will drop for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So an update on left field indeed coming out on the play that ended the top of the 8th inning is Adonis Forte, the second. He comes out of the game. The new left fielder for the Sioux Falls Sunfish is number 33 in Gannon Thompson, who was the right fielder in yesterday's game. Count to Strong goes to 1 and 2. A fly ball and a foul ball out of play. Keeps the count where it is at 1 and 2. So a 1-2 count to the leadoff batter, Nicholas Strong, as Santangelo has to take on the 4-5-6 of the Trappers lineup. So now the ball will even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Strong. Pitch will go outside. Count will run full to the Trappers' first baseman, Strong. And a pitch outside will draw a walk. And so now we have to make a correction. It is not Santangelo pitching for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Instead, Asante Wilson comes in to pitch. Wilson wearing number 22. Pickoff attempt back to first base, but standing at first base and giving a wave over to Wilson is Strong. Having some fun with it as a pickoff attempt with no lead. Pitch will go low for ball number 1. Another pitch misses for ball number 2. To Eric Mast, the new batter, after Nicholas Strong drew a walk to start Wilson's appearance. Now a fly ball will get through the middle infield. Everybody will be safe for the Pierre Trappers with nobody out. So a wild late half of this game in which both teams have traded a couple of runs. Eric Mast will get credit for the base hit. And it will bring up Colin Adams. Adams has had himself a debut for the Trappers. He's 2 for 2, reaching on all 3 plate appearances with a walk. Has come around to score twice, and is the only player on either team today to have come around to score twice in this ball game. A check over by Wilson. Pitch will run on the inside part of the plate for strike number 1. So it is Wilson pitching instead of Santangelo. We apologize for the mistake, as Wilson, normally wearing 22, wearing 23 today for the Sunfish. Pitch will run outside, or inside, excuse me, evening the count at 1-1 strike to Colin Adams, the catcher for the Trappers, making his debut tonight. Fastball by Wilson will catch the knees of the strike zone for strike number 2. 1-2 strikes. Still nobody out. Runners at first and second for the Pierre Trappers. So runners at first and second. Pitch runs high and inside on Adams for ball number 2. And Wilson so far has allowed a walk and a base hit despite throwing heat for the Sunfish. So 2-2, nobody out, 2 runners on for the Trappers. Pitch will go down the center of the plate for a called strike number 3. Adams takes a moment to talk to the home plate umpire to see where he had the pitch, but it will go down as a strikeout for Asante Wilson. Wilson, a native of San Francisco, California, in the Bay Area. He will have to take on Brendan Perez. Playing for the Skyline College Trojans. Pitched in 1 game this season. It was a start. Had an 0-1 record in 1 inning pitched. Allowed 7 runs to score, all of them earned. He enters today's outing with a 63 ERA. Pitch will run inside for ball 1. So now 1 out in the inning after the strikeout. A swing and a miss by Brendan Perez evens the count at 1-1. So Wilson will look into the batter in Perez, who's 0 for 2 today. Pitch will go low, putting Perez ahead in the count, 2-1 strike with 1 away in the bottom of the 8th inning. Wilson, the 3rd Sunfish batter to appear today. Pitch will run high. Hitters count to Perez, 3-1 strike. 2 of the 3 Trapper batters that have already faced Wilson this inning have reached, strong by a walk, masked by a single. 3-2 Trappers lead bottom 8 over the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Pitch will go low and away for ball number 4, and the Trappers have loaded the bases with 1 out. So advancing to second base off the walk is Eric Mass. Getting to third is Nicholas Strong, and the bases are loaded for Cole Yancey. Yancey is 1 for 3 today, lined out to the pitcher, singled, and reached on a fielder's choice, and now talking to his pitcher is Walker Burlington. Excuse me, it was not a coach's visit, but instead the entire infield came in to talk to Wilson with the bases loaded and 1 out. No coach's visit required. My apologies. So Yancey will bat with the bases loaded. First pitch will go high for ball 1. Sunfish down to their final 3 outs when we come to the top half of the 9th inning in 2 outs from now. Next pitch to Yancey is a fastball that catches the outside part of the plate for strike number 1. Wilson last appeared on June 1st against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. Got the start in that game, got the loss. Pitch will go low. Yancey runs ahead in the count, 2-1 strike. He got the loss in only 1 innings pitched as the starter, allowed 4 hits, 7 runs, all of them earned. 3 walks and no strikeouts on a total of 11 batters faced before he was pulled. Pitch goes low and outside for ball number 3. A hitter's count to Cole Yancey. And now Wilson, a ball away from walking in another run. Excuse me, the count. 2 balls. Excuse me, ball 4. And the run will come in. My apologies on that, got a little lost. As Yancey reaches on a walk, Perez gets to second base. Mast gets to third, and coming in to score is Nicholas Strong, as the Trappers have now extended their lead, and now here will come Walker Burlington. Trappers have walked in a run. It's now 4-2 with the Pierre Trappers in front over the visiting Sioux Falls Sunfish. He will leave Wilson out. It will go down as a mound visit for Burlington. They only have one more remaining, so that means with Wilson on the mound, if they come back out to talk as a coach's visit, it will go down as the second coach's visit of the inning, meaning that Wilson would have to be relieved for. The first pitch to Braden Cordes will go low for ball number 1. Cordes 0 for 3 today with a 0 for 3 line with 3 strikeouts, in danger of wearing the golden sombrero of 4 strikeouts. But the second pitch of the at-bat will miss for ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. Pitch goes on the outside part of the plate. And now Wilson clearly struggling with control. 3 balls and no strikes. He walked 3 batters in 1 total inning of work. In his first and only appearance so far for the Sunfish, he's walked 3 this inning, in danger of walking a 4th in Braden Cordes. Pitch will catch the strike zone at the knees for strike number 1. 4-2 Trappers lead, trying to take game 1 of this 3-game series from Hyde Stadium. Also trying to even this overall series on the home and the road. Another pitch will miss for ball 4. The Trappers get another run on another walk by Asante Wilson. And now here comes Walker Burlington. That's the second mound visit of the inning, and you know what that means. It will be a pitching change for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. We'll let the new pitcher get warmed up, and we'll get you caught up on all of his statistics when we return here on the Pierre Trappers Mixler live stream. Trappers fans, summer is here. Get your boat back in shape with a visit to Dano's Marine. Dano's Marine will get you back out on the water this summer with excellent service and years of experience. Give them a call at 605-224-6612 or visit them at 320 St. Charles Street in Pierre. Any water, any problem, Dano's Marine. Welcome back. Pitching change for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Austin Oblas comes in to try to finish the job that Asante Wilson started. Bases will remain loaded for the Pierre Trappers, with Oblas coming in to take on the top of the order. Right before the pitching change, Braden Cordes walked. It was the 4th walk surrendered by Asante Wilson. Advancing to second on the play was Cole Yancey. Getting to third was Brendan Perez. And in to score was Eric Mast. So a 2-run inning so far for the Pierre Trappers. They now lead 5-2 over the Sioux Falls Sunfish. And a pitching change to take on the Tyler Skelton at the top of the order. So Tyler Skelton, 1 for 4 today. Flew out to right field, struck out looking, struck out swinging, and then singled in his last at-bat last inning. And Skelton will get the play ball signal, and so will Austin Oblas, new pitcher for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. First pitch will be fouled off for strike number 1. Oblas, a native of Gunter, Texas, attending the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, playing for the Vaqueros, or UTRGV for short. Pitch will catch the strike zone after a foul ball for a 0-2 count to Tyler Skelton, in danger of striking out for a 3rd time tonight. The pitch will go low for ball number 1. Puts the count to Tyler Skelton at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trappers have added some insurance runs after the Sunfish cut the Trapper lead to just 1 in the top half of this inning. So now a 1-2 count to Skelton. Thought about going around but holds back on a ball in the dirt. A good call by Skelton. Count goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 away here in the 8th. So now a 2-2. Arm from Oblas hangs, the right-handed pitcher for the Sunfish. Time is called as he steps off the mound. So a 2-2 count at the leadoff batter, Tyler Skelton. Bases are loaded. Pitch will go low, and the count is now full. You could hear even some home fans here at Hyde Stadium unsure about that call, as they thought Skelton went down on strikes for the 3rd time tonight. Some interesting games across the Expedition League as well tonight. That pitch will catch the strike zone. The 3rd time tonight that Skelton has struck out. Now he's talking to the umpire, pointing at the plate, the home plate umpire, and Connor Kroll, telling Skelton to stop. And indeed he will march back to the dugout, undoubtedly a little bit upset after striking out for the 3rd time tonight. So we'll bring up Thomas McKenna. 2 outs and the bases remain loaded for the Pierre Trappers. Some interesting games across the EL as the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks defeated the Hastings Sodbusters by a final score of 7-3 tonight. A couple of tie ball games as well. Foul ball will head out of play down the right field line for strike number 1. In the bottom of the 8th, the Spearfish Sasquatch and the Souris Valley Saberdogs tied at 7. Both teams enter that game with 2 losses, so it will be a battle at the top of the division. Spearfish currently in 3rd in the Clark, Souris Valley leading the Lewis division. The 0-1 will miss low for ball number 1. The Mining City Tommyknockers hold a 9-3 lead over the Western Nebraska Pioneers in the top of the 5th, and the Casper Horseheads dominating the Canyon County Spuds in a basement game in the Lewis division, as both teams rank 5th and 6th respectively. Casper leading Canyon County 14-3. Pitch will be fouled off by McKenna. Count runs to 1 ball and 2 strikes. In the top of the 8th, the Fremont Moo have a 8-game winning streak. They're taking on the Badlands Big Sticks, who've lost 5 in a row. But the Fremont Moo have just a 1-run lead, 7-6 in the top of the 8th inning from Dickinson, North Dakota, a home game for the Big Sticks. 1-2. Oblas sets and deals to McKenna. Will run inside, ball 2. So a even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Check swing on a pitch in the dirt, a peel down. They say no swing on McKenna, so now a full count with the bases loaded. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. The Trappers lead by 3. A swing and a miss by Thomas McKenna. 2 straight punch-outs on 2 back-to-back batters and the Trapper half of the 8th. The Trappers will try to slam the door shut when we return here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube live stream. Final 3 outs for the Sunfish when we come back.
When it comes to clothing in the capital area, Total Beauty and Speedway Laundry have you covered. Speedway Laundry offers the fastest way to clean clothes, with free Wi-Fi offered while you wait. Next door, family-owned and operated Total Beauty has a constantly changing inventory of top-quality clothing. Check out the newest lines in clothing by giving Total Beauty and Speedway Laundry a visit at 111 First Street in Fort Pierre.
As we begin the 9th inning, a couple more sponsors to thank of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season, including Right Turn with Christensen Farms, the South Dakota Lottery, and Shane's Pharmacy. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. Back in a save situation is Tyler Lubin. He began pitching last inning with 2 away, trying for the 4-out save. 2 runs came in, but those were off the back of Adrian Lopez. And then the Pierre Trappers in the bottom half of that inning put up 2 runs of their own to add some insurance. They currently have a 3-run lead entering the 9th. Leading things off is the leadoff batter for the Sunfish in Blake Burrows. He's 1 for 4 today. Shows bunt, pulls back. Pitch misses, and the pullback worked as the count runs to 1 ball and no strikes. Again, Sunfish down to their final 3 outs. They did put up a 3 spot yesterday in the 5th inning. That game was in Sioux Falls. Ground ball. A foul ball as Strong picked it up standing on the bag. But it will be called a foul ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. So now a 1-1 count to Blake Burrows, the center fielder for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, trying to scratch their way back into this game. That pitch will catch the strike zone, so after a foul ball, now a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tyler Lubin looking for his first save of the season. Trappers only have 1 pitcher with a save so far this year, and it belongs to Nick Hamill. Local time is 9:56 p.m. Central Time. Approaching 3 hours. Ground ball to the shortstop. Picking it up is Cordes. Fires onto first. Bounces in the dirt and gets away. It'll be the 3rd error of the ballgame. Rounding second and now heading for 3rd, but putting on the brakes is Blake Burrows. So after a masterful game at shortstop by Braden Cordes, it can't escape him for that long, as it will go down as an error on Braden Cordes. It's his 3rd fielding error of the year. So for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, that's exactly what you want. You don't care how you get on as long as you get on. It will bring up JT Mix, who's 1 for 2 today with a couple of walks, a single, and a ground out to the second baseman. Runner in scoring position for the Sunfish with nobody out. Lubin's pitch will go on the outside part of the plate for ball number 1. Mix came into today's game batting .308. He's 1 for 2 today, so that will slightly bump his batting average. Barring the results of this at-bat, foul ball will head over the press box for strike number 1. So now a 1-1 count to JT Mix, the second baseman. for the Sunfish. Lubin's pitch will catch the outside part of the plate for strike number 2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tyler Lubin looks in on JT Mix. A swing and a foul ball. Count remains where it is at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tying run for the Sunfish is in the on-deck circle, represented by Benito Garcia. Go-ahead run would be in the hole in Jonathan Brandon. Lubin's pitch, check swing, but it's strike number 3 called. Sunfish down to their final 2 outs. First strikeout of the day for Tyler Lubin. And for Lubin, not a strikeout pitcher. Has 4 strikeouts on his year so far in 6 2/3 of an innings pitched. It will bring up Benito Garcia. First pitch to Garcia is a called strike after the strikeout looking on JT Mix. No balls, 1 strike to the shortstop for the Sunfish that has played in every game for the expansion team in Sioux Falls. Trappers lead 5-2 in the first of a 3-game set. Another pitch will catch the strike zone. 2 straight pitches in this at-bat for a called strike. 3 in a row if you include JT Mix's strikeout looking. So 3 straight pitches by Lubin the Sunfish have not wanted to offer at. The 0-2 is high for ball 1, right at the letters where it says Sioux Falls on the front of the Sunfish jerseys. Some interesting uniforms that the Sunfish have. All gray uniforms, however, the sleeves are multicolored. Teal sleeves on the right, orange sleeves on the left, and then a multicolored Sioux Falls word mark across the front. The 1-2 is a ground ball to the second baseman. Yancey picks it up, fires onto first in time for the out, but a runner is now 90 feet away for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, and the Trappers are an out away from ending their 3-game losing streak that started in Spearfish. So it will bring up Jonathan Brandon. Brandon 1 for 3 today with a walk, a single, and a couple of flyouts. Sunfish down to their final out. Thought about going around, but holds up. It will be a called strike for strike number 1. Tyler Lubin trying to slam the door. The Trappers trying to end their 3-game slide as well as end the Sunfish 3-game winning streak. In the first of this 3-game set from Hyde Stadium. A ground ball to the third base side. This could do it. Picks up Perez onto first in time. And the Pierre Trappers end their 3-game losing streak with a 5-2 win over the Sioux Falls Sunfish. A big win for the Trappers today as they start a 3-game set from Hyde Stadium with the expansion team and in-state rival Sioux Falls Sunfish. Game time will end at 10:02 local. Another game for the Trappers and the Sunfish that goes below 3 hours, I should say. Final game time, 2 hours and 57 minutes on this June 5th of 2021. We'll take a quick break and be back with the recap of the Trappers' 5-2 win over the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube live stream.
You don't need an illness to need a doctor. You don't need to feel sick to feel better. You don't need to be unwell to get well. What you do need is a primary care provider at Sanford Health. Better healthcare starts with regular wellness visits and a familiar face who knows you, your concerns, and your goals. We're here before you need us. We're here when you need us. We're here after you need us. We're here for you. Find your primary care provider at sanfordhealth.org today.
Total Beauty and Speedway Laundry are your homes for everything clothing in the capital area. Since 2010, Total Beauty has offered great customer service and competitive prices. Next door at Speedway Laundry, they have you covered for a fast, convenient way to wash and dry your clothes and other household items, including king-size comforters. Visit them at 111 First Street in Fort Pierre.
Dan-O's Marine is a proud partner of Pierre Trappers Baseball. Located at 320 St. Charles Street, Dan-O's provides service on your boat to get you back out on the water in the dog days of summer. Give them a call at 605-224-6612. That's Dan-O's Marine at 605-224-6612. Any water, any problem, Dan-O's Marine.
Hey, it's the old top Gator here with Gators Pizza Pasta Subs in the Northridge Plaza. Gators is known for top quality food. Now you can have our food selections delivered right to your front door using DoorDash. That's right, now you have 4 ways that you can get great Gators food: dine in, carry out, curbside pickup, and now delivery through DoorDash. Gators has been serving the Pierre area and now Trappers baseball fans since 1987. Gators Pizza Pasta Subs in the Northridge Plaza.